APR 4.19%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
It's Sam Adams. We're constantly improving who we are, what we do, and how we brew. We make craft over 60 styles of beer, but it's Boston Lager that has captured the heart of America since 1984. With its deep amber color, caramel notes, and signature hop character, what better to have in your pint glass? Into the Sam Adams Boston Lager. Pursue better.
Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Save responsibly.
Saturday, September 2nd. There's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets. The 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Not getting your game on?
I'm with the Razorbacks stuck in an elevator. Which Razorback would you like to be stuck in the elevator? Maybe you do want the quarterback. Maybe you do want Austin Allen. Got to be calm under fire.
Maybe you want Dan Enos. Maybe you want an offensive coordinator, somebody who can design a plan.
Or maybe you want a big guy in case he has to lift you out of there.
Well, and then you're also thinking, how much weight is this elevator supposed to bear for this long? How strong are those cables?
Get your game on with Wes Moore each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas. The Haskell Harmony Grove Cardinals play here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Brought to you by Bryan Family Pharmacy. It's the Cards and Bauxite Miners Friday night. Don't miss a minute of the action on 99.7 and FoxSportsArkansas.com. See that cloud in the sky? Here's Mr. Silver Lining, Wes Moore.
Back at it. Thank you for joining us today. We got Paul Cowley, Daryl Patton in the studio. We're talking a little Bauxite football, Haskell Harmony Grove, their big game Friday night. What Saline County? I mean, with the y'all showdown, and then you got the Salt Bowl. What is it like late August, early September down here with the football, the rivalries, all the different players that you're mingling around each other, you're seeing each other. What is it like on a typical, football weekend, football day around here?
I'll let you answer that one, Daryl.
Well, I've only been back for a year, so it's the Saline County is a really neat place.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's football fanatics, and you start seeing those school colors really, You see the maroon from Benton. You see the black and gray, red and black, blue, all over the place. Everybody's got school pride, and it's just it's a special time. And when we first started the Salt Bowl up, years ago, we probably had 10,000 people maybe at the game, and to see where it's at now, it's just crazy. When you're talking 30,000 plus, and Paul, they did a great job of promoting it for years and building it to what it is today, and it's just a neat deal. Excited to, and my stepson plays, so I'll be there Saturday in my Bryant blue cheering him on. So I'm excited to see it.
It's interesting, after the Salt Bowl, when you go to Walmart or Kroger and you walk in and more than half the people in the building have on a Salt Bowl shirt, that just tells you the impact that it has and how many people buy tickets and how many people are at that thing.
Kind of proud father now, watching where it is now and knowing what you guys did to in the beginning stages.
Yeah, it's really a special game. There's none like it anywhere, I don't think. It's equivalent to Texas football. But it sure is a lot less pressure not dealing with it anymore.
Can y'all make that? No, I mean, because of the numbers of the schools and the size of the cities. But can y'all make your rivalry as intense?
I think it's going to get there eventually. I used to use the excuse that we were the smaller school and Bauxite was bigger, so we're supposed to lose. But I can't do that anymore because we're moving up.
That's right. I think it definitely will get there at one day. But we just haven't played as many years, so it takes a little bit of time. Also, Bauxite, we need to win this year to correct. When one team's dominating the series, it's tough. But it can definitely get to be a very, very, very good rivalry in the state of Arkansas. on this level. It'll never reach the Bryant Benton status.
And I've told our kids this, being part of the Salt Bowl for so long and seeing how many people come to that first game, it's more of a social event, because as you get later on in the season, we played Darrell in 2015, hometown guy coming in, big playoff game, and we didn't have hardly any fans in the stands. I mean, that was disappointing. It should have been big. So the Salt Bowl kicks everything off, and for Benton and Bryant for sure, it kind of ends everything. I mean, kids just don't come to the games like they used to.
What will the game look like next year, being a conference game? Has it been set? Will it be? Do you know when it'll be played in conference? Will it be Week 10? Do you want it Week 10?
I would love for it to be Week 10. I think that'd be great. And I don't know if anybody has set this in stone. I know that Mina leaving. I think that's our Week 6 game. So the first Friday of October, and it should be. It'll be in Mina, so it'd be in Harmony Grove next year. So if we don't change it, we'll be going to Harmony Grove Week 6. But I'd love for them to kind of change it to Week 10 if they could. I don't know if Paul feels the same, but
with your pull, Darrell, I bet we can make it happen.
You want it in Week 10?
I'd love to have it in Week 10.
Yeah. Be a great way to. And in a lot of places, you do have those in conferences. You have those rivalry games. I always thought it was weird in the 7A West. There were some really good rivalry, but they weren't. They were kind of spread out through the year. Was it?
Well,
I think it was Week 4. Was it the first week of conferences rivalry?
What happened up there is we had 4 teams that wanted Week 10 rivalry games, 4 that didn't want it, and then when Springdale split, that became their rival. So I mean, our big rival when I was at Fayetteville was was Springdale, and when they split, Harbor took our place. So then we were kind of scrambling to find a rivalry game.
Right.
Well, Bentonville fell in our lap, which is not a good rivalry game. And so we'd play Bentonville Week 10, and then when Bentonville split, then Fayetteville picked up Van Buren. So, there's a lot of things that was in the works up there. But down here, I mean, I would love for in our conference to have rivalry games Week 10, and it makes great sense that Harmony Grove would be Bauxite's rival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. Great way to finish off the season.
And we're both going to be, I'm not going to speak bad about either program, but the other teams are just athletically better. And probably, hopefully, at the end, Week 10, we're playing for that last playoff spot.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a great conference that you're getting into and that you're in right now. It's one of the top, and it's as far as us to talk about, to cover, it's one of the best.
Yeah,
and week in and week out, and it doesn't matter who's playing. There's going to be a ton of athletes on the field.
Exactly. And the thing about playing a rivalry game Week 10, if even if one team's struggling and they're not winning games, you still have something at the end of the season to play for. And especially with the trophy being a trophy game, the trophy will continue, in our conference as well. And so it just gives the kids something to shoot for and compete for, and I'd love to see it.
It's a carrot, to dangle out there. We talk about that carrot for men's basketball, college basketball. If you win your conference title, you get into March Madness, and sometimes you have injuries and the season's going, not as well as you would like. You still have that carrot dangling out there. Guys,
right.
We can pull it together, win the conference tournament, still get in, to the NCAA tournament. That's your carrot, guys, no matter how bad it's getting, we still got that one big game left.
That's right.
That could keep kind of the kids going. All right, when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more with Darrell Patton and Paul Cowley. Their friendship, their past, their history, what's going to happen next. We'll finish up hour number 1 when we come back. It's Game On.
Inside my bones, it goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood.
Not getting your game on? They are.
We're talking with Babe Lothenberg. You made the jump from football to broadcasting. What's in store for Tony?
I did a show at 5 a.m. on Fridays of Cowboy games. I would go in and just kind of talk about the upcoming game. Well, at 5 a.m., people are not exactly glued to the TV. I made my mistakes to a very small audience that wasn't really discerning. He's going to make his mistakes on the #1 stage for CBS.
Get your game on each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car. Because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. Know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car and no license and no money was no fun.
Cops are out there cracking down on drunk driving all across the country, and they'll see you before you see them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Arkansas State Red Wolves football plays on Fox. Arkansas.
You may have overhauled your wardrobe, but for ultimate comfort, it's what's underneath that counts. Yep, I'm talking about your underwear. Tommy John's Second Skin is made from a super soft natural fiber sourced from beechwood trees. Really, with an exceptionally silky feel. Second Skin's the most luxurious fabric available. And of course, all Tommy John underwear is backed by their best pair you'll ever wear, or its free guarantee. Save 20% in your first order with the code HERD at TommyJohn.com, code HERD, for 20% off your first order.
Not getting your game on? They are.
Ron Calcagni, the Razorback legend.
The first time I heard the Razorback call was from Coach Broyles. He did it in our home. No shame, and we didn't know what the hog call was and taught us the hog call. And it was strange to us, Ohio boy. And what a legend. Sure he was a legend when he was alive, but now, he's totally a legend. He'll always be in my mind and my heart.
Get your game on with Wess Moore each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets, the 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Welcome back to Game On, where every season is our season. Here's Wess Moore.
Back at it, joined by Paul Cowley and Daryl Patton, talking a little bit about Haskell Harmony Grove and Bauxite. Their big game Friday night. It's going to be crazy. I mean, Bauxite in the Pit, when it's packed, that's one of those special environments. Some of the places that I've been in Arkansas high school football on Friday nights, that's one of those that I'll always remember, just that environment.
They support the kids no matter what, and they're excited about this game, first game of the year. There's a lot of enthusiasm. The administration at Bauxite they've gone above and beyond fixing up the stadium. We've got a new little terrace area that we fixed up, new iron fence all the way around the field, fence rows cleaned, plywood boards on the visitor bleachers to kind of enclose it up a little bit, and it just looks 10 times better than it ever has. And last night we had a good junior high crowd from Harmony Grove and from Bauxite there, and I expect it will be the biggest crowd maybe Bauxite's ever had. Who knows? It'll be packed.
It's gonna be a little crazy, the atmosphere. Now you guys had it last year, and it was one of those special environments. Your guys, do they know? Do y'all talk about that? What it's going to be like playing there?
We talk about it every week and how special it is, and that everybody. It's not a social event. The people that are at our game, the Harmony Grove Bauxite game, are there because they're football fanatics and they care who wins, and it's personal. It means something to them, and it's special. And our guys know that. We tell them that every week.
And one thing too, I need to add, Midtown Church, which is in between Bryant and Benton. They are coming out and setting up all their inflatables. We've got vendors coming, just like the Salt Bowl. It won't be as many, but we want to create that Salt Bowl atmosphere in Bauxite on Friday night. So I'm glad the weather's going to be good. It's going to be nice. Kids come out and get on the inflatables, and a lot of free handouts, and it should be a fun night.
Okay, you won last year. Did you win something else? Was there a little side bet? Did he pay up?
Lunch today.
Okay, I didn't know it, but sure.
Will there be another lunch on the line?
Without a doubt. If I'm going to pay for today, there's going to be something else on the line for next year.
We'll have to come up with something good.
Did he give you a hard time about last year?
No, I mean, and I don't think I've ever given him a hard time after when my teams beat his teams. And last year, I think he was He was very, very humble as always. He knew what I was going through. We were kind of under the gun a little bit. Got there late in the summer. Didn't have as much time to work with. We were a sophomore team pretty much, and trying to go from the flex bone to the spread was pretty tough. And so they definitely had the advantage, and they took us to the woodshed, gave us a pretty good spanking for sure. And he was very humble about it and just understood our situation. And he's always been there for me. He's a brother, and he'll help me anytime, any way he can, and I'll do the same with him.
Did he call off the dogs early enough last year?
Not early enough, but
yeah, all the joking around we do is before. It's not after. You know, Daryl has beaten me several times, and he's always been gracious, and he's always the first one to call me and say, hey, man, y'all played well. You know, he's there, always been supportive. So all the joking is before. There's no ribbing or anything afterwards.
Biggest disagreement y'all been into?
Daryl likes to throw the ball at the 1 yard line. And he'll do it 3 times. And then when it's 4th down, he'll ask me to help him out with a run play. That's probably the biggest disagreement we've ever had.
You know, we go back to this 99 season, which was just, I mean, if you could just picture, it was the perfect season. Everything fell into place. And Coach Callie and I, we were, I guess, 28, 29 years old. We're still young coaches. And we're beating some teams, Pine Bluff, El Dorado, teams that traditionally we hadn't beaten before. And so we'd just beaten El Dorado. Actually, the year before in '98, El Dorado had beaten us 35-0, and they'd called timeout with about a minute left in the game. They were up 28-0, and they threw a double reverse pass to get down and score. So after the game, I'm upset with Coach Register. Scooter and I, we've become really good friends, but I was upset with him. And I told him, I said, if there's any way that we can ever help somebody kick your butt, we're going to do it. Then we walk into the field house. We put the VCR tape in the VCR recorder, and it's total blank. There's nothing on it. And so I had to call Scooter to get the tape that I just promised I was going to help send out. So we get the tape back, and we watch it. Well, the next year, you know, nobody ever thought we'd be up on El Dorado big, you know, and they were the number 1 team in the state. And we're up on them 31 to nothing in the 3rd quarter. And so I'm starting to, you know, Paul is already thinking ahead. He's like, hey, let's call the dogs off a little bit. Let's get some of our number 2s in. And I'm mad at him. I'm like, no, we're throwing fades. We're going to throw fades. We're going to, you know, this is payback from last year. And he said, you're a better person than that. Call the dogs off. So I did. Fast forward about 3 weeks. We're playing Benton.
Let me pick it up.
Okay, you pick it up.
Daryl was really mad. I mean, really, really, really mad. He did call the dogs off, but he wouldn't talk to me for a couple of days. So 3 weeks later, we're at Benton. Hadn't beat Benton in 14 or 15 years, and I'm up in the press box. The stands are packed. I can barely see out. All right, and we get up 42 to nothing, maybe 42 to nothing, and the fans are all turning around looking at me in the box, going, "Score 2 more, score 2 more." So Daryl says, "I'm going to pull the starters to put the backups in." I said, "Heck no!" I said, "Leave the starters in. We got to score another one." He goes, "What?" I said, "The fans are up here. They're going to lynch me if we don't score another touchdown." He said, "I'm not going to do it." I said, "You got to." And he said, "Come down here." I said, "They're not going to let me out. They're not going to let me out." So we ended up calling the dogs off that night. But yeah, Daryl was upset.
We've had some fun time. You know, the game he's talking about, the 1 yard line. We're playing Camden Fairview the week after we played El Dorado. We're the number 1 team in the state, which nobody would have ever dreamed that. So we go down there, and man, I'm probably more nervous than I've ever been. And so all week, Paul had said, listen, if they give you this front or whatever, we're going to check the speed option to the weak side. They're playing man coverage. We'll walk in. Okay. So we get down to the 1 yard line, first down, first and goal from the 1. We throw a slant, incomplete. And the whole time Paul's in my ear going, hey, check, hey, run the option. Second down, we throw the slant, incomplete. Third down, you know, he's like, run the stinking option. And I call a fade or whatever it was. So it's 4th and goal. And I'm like, Paul, what do you want to run? Total silence. Paul, what do you want to run? And the play clock's, 15, 14, 13. Paul, what do you want to run? I had to take a timeout. And I'm like, Paul, are you there? He goes, how do you like it when nobody listens to you?
What'd you run on 4th down?
We ran the option and walked in.
How long did you let him hear about that?
Oh, we still talk about it. We still talk about it.
Yeah,
that was a high pressure game. We were started the season number 32 out of 32 teams, and we end up going down beating number 1, and now we go to Camden, and Camden is 3-6 maybe.
Yeah,
and they're loaded. I mean, they are as talented as anybody. They start tearing us up, and I can't even go into that. But we had 2 kickers. You remember that?
Yes,
we had 2 kickers.
I do.
Couldn't decide on which one. We had all kinds of squabbles. But I remember the pregame. Hootens was there. They're going to film the pregame speech. And Daryl's nervous. He said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I said, come on, man. You can do it. I can't do it. I said, okay, I'll do it. He goes, no, I got this. I got this. Like I said, he loves to talk.
Y'all are great about the pranks and some great stories. Who's pulled the last prank? Who's up?
I think he did last year when they beat us so bad. I'm gonna consider that a prank.
I got to tell this because of all the kickoff. Oh, this is good.
Okay,
This is not Carol's story. This is Bryant's playing in the Hootens Kickoff Classic, and Daryl's got to go to a press conference. So we're still out of practice, and Daryl goes in to take a shower, get cleaned up to go to the press conference. So Daryl's in the shower. We call it up. And I can't remember if it was Joe Calhoun or one of the assistant coaches said, popsicles are in the shower, men. And the whole team breaks and runs into the field house. Coach Patton's in there in the shower taking care of business. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That was not a good trick.
You talk about red face. Boy, he was red. Get out. Get out.
What year was that?
Probably 2000. Yeah.
Did you fix the laundry room at Bauxite? Because you got locked in, right?
The door is off. We did not put the door back on.
Guys, this has been great. It's been a lot of fun having you on here, talking a little bit about the game. I know it's going to be fun for you guys, and the game itself will be great. Will y'all talk as soon as the game's over? How will that? Y'all going to talk right afterwards?
Yeah,
we will.
Or do you have to calm down a little bit?
No, he'll help me, and I'll help him right afterwards.
Yeah.
Get ready for next week. I'll tell him what I think they could have done differently, and he'll tell me the same thing. And
is it tough for the kids the next week? Because you have such a huge game for week 1, do they bounce back pretty good?
They do. I mean, it's first game of the season. It feels a little bit later. It might be tougher, but first game of the season, it's a big game. But we'll get the troops back and ready for the next week, and I know Paul will too, and we'll get them back down to earth because, on Monday is Tell the Truth Monday when you watch film, and so, as good as you feel on Friday night, on Monday we're going to find something to chew you out and grab you out.
So many things to fix after that first game. So many. Last year, I remember burning all 3 timeouts in the first quarter trying to get people on the field and special teams. And sometimes the kids they get lost.
Yep.
Get their eyes in the stands.
Need a game to work through it all. Coach Callie, Coach Patton, thank you. This was fun. Maybe next year we're doing it right before week 10. That would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
They'll get it fixed.
Thank you guys for having us on.
You bet. Y'all have a great game. All right, when we come back in hour number 2, let's see. We got Jimmy Carter talking a little Razorbacks. We got Trey Reed with the Game and Fish Report. Don't forget, hour number 3, we're talking the Salt Bowl. Benton and Bryant. We got Buck James in the studio, Brad Harris in the studio. It's going to be a great day. Stick around. It's Game On.
Recruiting Thursday with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette's Richard Davenport.
Brian Williams, 2019 Arkansas safety target, joined us with his father, Raleigh, and Brian said that you guys had the best salsa he'd ever had. What was so good about the salsa?
We always judge a New Mexican restaurant by the salsa. He took a bite and he looked up at me and he said, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. I know we sound crazy talking about this salsa, but it was the best.
Recruiting Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas.
This is Dwayne Hiley with the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. We're owned by the people we serve, and our goal is to provide our members with reliable and affordable power today and into the future. In pursuit of this mission, we've invested in clean coal technology, state-of-the-art natural gas plants, hydropower from the Arkansas River, and wind energy. We're also helping lead the way to develop solar energy for Arkansas communities. Through our diverse mix of generation resources, we're powering Arkansas today and preparing for tomorrow.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we could promise you the same results for less than $2 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for Viagra, you're being taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $2. We'll do the math for you. You save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 45 blue pills or 45 yellow pills for $99, and we'll add 5 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call us at 800-643-1366 and get your 50 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in an unmarked package. Call us right now, 800-643-1366. That's 800-643-1366. 800-643-1366.
Your home for Henderson State football is Fox Sports Arkansas.
They snap it to Lassiter. Touchdown, ready.
With you all the way during the 2017 Great American Conference season.
Ben Johnson with a catch to the 50. Johnson inside the 40.
We're ready for the Reddies.
Diving catch at the 2-yard line. And the Reddies are set up, first down and goal.
On 106.9 FM and 99.7 FM. Henderson State football on Fox Sports Arkansas.
You can put that one in the books.
Not getting your game on?
Jim Withrow, head coach of the Sylvan Hills Bears.
We got to get to him before he gets going. If he gets a crease, they're going to be playing their fight song a lot.
I think you kicked off to him last year, and he took one back to the house.
Yes, we all make mistakes in this profession, Wes, and I made a mistake.
Will you be kicking off to him this year?
There's really no sense in him even going back because it ain't going to him. So we might just want to give him a water break.
Game on. Each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Fox Sports Arkansas. KDXC North Little Rock. KAFN Benton. KZYP Melbourne. KWPS Caddo Valley. KDEL Arkadelphia. KVRC Arkadelphia. KYXK Gurdon. Ending now.
News from the NFL, where the appeal hearing for Dallas Cowboys star running back Ezekiel Elliott started on Tuesday. It will continue today and could stretch into Thursday. Once all the testimony is heard, an arbitrator will rule if Elliott's 6-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy will be upheld, overturned, or reduced. Baseball in the National League, it was the Nationals beating the Marlins 8-3. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 51st home run of the season for Miami. He ties the record for the most home runs hit in the month of August with 18. He's tied with Rudy York of the 1937 New York Yankees. Cubs over the Pirates 4-1. Chicago moved 3.5 games up on Milwaukee for first in the NL Central as the Brewers lost to the Cardinals 10-2. Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 7-6. That's 3 losses in a row for LA, and the first time that's happened since early June. Reds over the Mets 14-4. The Padres beat the Giants 6-3, and the Braves and Phillies were rained out. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Fox Sports. Everyone is listening.
This is Outkick the Coverage with Clay Travis.
Yup.
Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Bryant Hornets. Brought to you by UA Little Rock Benton Campus, Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, Bryant Parks and Rec, Mid-State Transmission, Bryant Family Pharmacy. From the Salt Bowl through the playoffs. On 690 AM, 93.7 FM, the Bryant Hornets play here.
Richmond 96.
Fox Sports Arkansas.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets, the 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
It's game time. Game On is back. Arkansas's midday show is on the air. With Fox 16 Sports Director Wess Moore. Get ready and get your game face on.
Game On, hour number 2. Thank you for joining us today inside the Razorback Camper Sales Studios. And what a great first hour. Paul Cowley and Daryl Patton in here, Bauxite, Haskell, Harmony Grove, Friday night. High school football season this first week has been absolutely fantastic. Great first week. And I need to throw this out there. Today, Fidelity Local 6, they're recording the show, broadcasting the show live. So if you have Fidelity Cable, Fidelity Local 6, you can watch it right now. You can see, I'm waving. If you're watching, there are people watching. And there it is. We're on YouTube live also. So I just tweeted it. There's Phil. Hey, Phil. I just tweeted it out. If you're following me on Twitter, you want to watch the show, you can watch it live right now. Go to the YouTube link that I just tweeted out.
I don't know about you, Wes. You're used to being on TV. I'm not. That felt awkward to me.
Do you want to come just sit next to me?
Ooh, no. Then then they can see every move I make.
I never even thought about it that first hour when we're on the air, and partly it was because I'm just so entertained by those two guys and listening to the stories, and then the shame of it, our time was up, and then they start telling another story on each other, and then another story, and then finally basically had to kick them out of here so we could do hour number 2, and so they could go eat lunch.
They're funny too because they've got, they really have an act down. It's like, I wouldn't say it's Martin and Lewis because they both got a little bit of both in them. But they definitely know the stories that are airable and those that are not,
I would love to have maybe an overnight show where we could get them to tell some of the even rougher stories, I guess I could say, or maybe some of the stories that aren't suitable at 12 o'clock.
Hey, look.
Maybe they're better to be told at 2 a.m.
Any coach in any sport has plenty of those off-color stories, from youth or whatever. That would be a good 2 a.m. show. Join us at 2 a.m. for off-color coaches' stories.
Oh, my gosh. I just pulled up Facebook. Look at this. I just pulled it and you can show it in front of the camera. See, we're on TV, so now we can do things like this. I pulled up Facebook to put a link on Facebook to our YouTube video where you can watch Game On right now and listen to it. And your memories, when you get on Facebook now, it's your memories. This is a picture from 2011, 6 years ago. I am at Jordan's Barbecue, and we were getting ready to do...
I'll be your boom.
Yes. We were... Look at that. We were getting ready to do a story on Benton and Bryant, and Craig O'Neill and I, this is when I was at Channel 11, Craig O'Neill took Benton's side, I took Bryant's side, and we each did a story about why Benton was better than Bryant or why Bryant was better than Benton. And I'm there at Jordan's Barbecue saying Bryant is better because of their food, because of Jordan's Barbecue. And do you know, I had a friend the other day that went to Jordan's Barbecue to get some lunch, and they said, your picture's at Jordan's Barbecue when you're checking out. And it was the picture that I gave them that day when I was there to do this interview. This was August 25th, 2011.
And here you are
a
in
Facebook
Benton
memory.
again. Maybe you ought to go visit them at 205.
Maybe I should. Jordan's got a great barbecue. Have you had Jordan's Barbecue?
Haven't made it yet. No.
It is awesome.
I still have a lot to learn about my work town. It's not my hometown. I don't live in Benton, but yeah, my work town.
Well, you spend a lot of time here. You need to know these places.
I do. I'm picking up on some things.
All right, I'm posting this to Facebook now. I think I'm trying. I can't get it to paste. I'll do it during the commercial break. But it's on Twitter. If you want to watch us on Facebook Live. We've got Fidelity Local 6 in here showing it and putting it on live, Fidelity Local 6, their channel. So great day for us at Game On. Coming up at 1 o'clock, Buck James, and we'll have Brad Harris. It's Benton Bryant, Salt Bowl, these two coaches in here talking about the game and what it means to the communities, their teams, the players, so much coming up in hour number 3. This hour, we have Jimmy Carter, WholeHogSports.com, and Trey Reed. Trey Reed will join us in our next segment because, it's Wednesday, and normally at 1:30 we do the Game and Fish report, but today we'll do it at 12:15 so that we'll have a full hour with Coach James and Coach Harris. Phil, maybe you can help me with this. I've got you're in front of the computer. Today's Culligan Water question of the day, and it's actually questions of the day. It's a series of questions. How confident are you that the Razorbacks will win 6 games? And I thought we put 100%, 80%, 60%, 40%. Okay?
6 games, 6 victories.
6 games.
And tomorrow would count.
Well, yes. Tomorrow's a real game.
All right,
it's not a preseason game, Phil. This is the real deal.
I feel like there are a lot of people that might not even count tomorrow.
It counts towards their season total, yes. So, how confident are you that Arkansas will win 6 games? And give them 4 options, 100%, 80%, 60%, 40%. And I want you to follow that up with, how confident are you Arkansas will win 7 games? Same thing, 100%, 80%, 60%. And this way we can kind of gauge how confident the Razorback fans are in what they're going to do this season. And give me one for 8 wins. Give me one for 9 wins. We can do one for 10, and we'll stop it there. We're not going to go 11 and 12.
This is multiple polls.
Yes, it is. That's why I said it is the Culligan Water questions.
I'm not doing
of the day.
100% chances here, am I?
Yeah, you're 100% sure they're going to win 6 games. I'm 100% sure they're going to win 6 games. Well,
100?
I'm 99.9% sure they're going to win 6 games. I guess something bad could happen to Austin Allen, knock on wood, and that could change everything. But if Austin Allen is healthy, they're winning 6 games. I will guarantee you that. Stone cold lock of the day, they're going to a bowl game. They'll win 6 games if Austin's healthy and he plays all 12 games. They're fine. I am 90% sure they're going to win 7 games. Maybe 85%.
That's still
sure.
pretty
I
certain.
feel very, very confident they're going to win 7 games. Okay? I am 50% sure they're going to win 8 games. I do. I think they're going to win 8 games. I feel pretty good about that. 9, now we're getting up there. Now I'm about 9-3, and I'm talking regular season only. I'm not throwing in a bowl win. Oh, we got 9 wins. No, I'm talking about regular season wins. 9-3, I think there's a chance. I think there's a decent chance. I'd go about 30%. I think there's about a 30% shot they can win 9 games. 10-2. I think it's slim. I mean, I think it's like under 10% chance.
Apparently, Houston Nutt feels pretty secure in this
I
idea.
saw that tweet. Houston Nutt feels pretty good that they're going to win 10 games. 9 or 10. He said 9 or 10.
Oh.
9 or 10. And look, so I'm not that far off. I'm thinking they could win 9. They could go 9-3. I'm about 33% there, 35, 1 out of 3 chance. But there's a chance, and there's a decent chance they can win 9. 10 wins, I'm not putting the odds up there very well. I think it's less than 10, like a 5% chance. Not feeling good. That is the Culligan Water questions of the day. It's a series of questions. We're going to gauge the fans, the Twitter fans, their feelings, their expectations, their confidence in this team. So we'll post those. Phil's over there typing away, getting everything set. So we'll have those posted here soon on Twitter.
I am twinkle fingers away.
I can hear you, man. You're over there just tapping right away. All right, coming up next, that's your cue to quit typing on Twitter and get ready for the break. Trey Reed joins us. It's the Game of Fish Report, moving that up an hour today, an hour and 15 minutes, because we got Buck James, Brad Harris coming into the studio for hour number 3. Stick around. It's Game On.
Know what these first-year Razorbacks all have in common?
Cameron Curl, who committed to Arkansas last week.
Nebraska was my number 1 team. Arkansas was. Baylor was. And Texas was.
Chase Hayden's going to start it off. Arkansas running back commitment joins us.
How loud the stadium was. I was pretty surprised. I didn't know the stadium would get that loud.
Malik Williams, who's in Fayetteville to report to Arkansas. Start classes next week.
They all appeared on Recruiting Thursday with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports.
Bring on a future Hog who just made his commitment to the Razorbacks about a week ago. Corlin Jackson.
Finding a way in open field and knowing your quarterback. You got to know what he wants and where to be.
Hear the Razorbacks before they become Razorbacks on Recruiting Thursday with Richard Davenport.
Kyrie Fisher, 6'2", about 234, 4.62, speed of Tulsa Union.
I want to start. I'm not coming here early to be a second string.
Recruiting Thursday each week from 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas. Your home for Henderson State football is Fox Sports Arkansas.
They snap it to Lassiter. Touchdown, ready.
With you all the way during the 2017 Great American Conference season.
Ben Johnson with a catch to the 50. Johnson inside the 40.
We're ready for the Reddies.
Diving catch at the 2-yard line. And the Reddies are set up, first down and goal.
On 106.9 FM and 99.7 FM. Henderson State football on Fox Sports Arkansas.
You can put that one in the books.
The Haskell Harmony Grove Cardinals play here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Brought to you by Bryan Family Pharmacy. It's the Cards and Bauxite Miners Friday night. Don't miss a minute of the action on 99.7 and FoxSportsArkansas.com.
Blue Star medicated ointment works fast to relieve the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
It's amazing. It's like as soon as you put it on, you can feel it working. We've had Blue Star in the family for years. It works on everything.
I love the cooling sensation on my athlete's foot.
What a relief for my eczema.
Nothing worked on my dry, cracked skin until I tried Blue Star.
Blue Star is great for scalp itch.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets, the 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Brought to you by Royal Blue, First Arkansas Financial, McCoy Tigert Pharmacy, College of the Washington.
Hello there, Trey.
CMK Properties. Listen to the Yellow Jackets battle.
You know, another day in the hood. Beautiful day.
Yeah, it's getting interesting, man. Lots of football seasons upon us.
It is.
This time of year.
Very good. Coming up.
Okay.
Get your game on each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Game on. No, really. Like bring your A game or go home. Here's Wes Moore.
Back at it inside the Razorback Campers Hill Studios, and we're going straight to the Fidelity Communications Hotline and bring in Trey Reed. He's with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Trey, welcome to the show. What's up?
Thanks, Wes. We're here a little bit early today, but happy to be with you, man. And I'm happy that the forecast is looking a little better, not only for the Razorback game at War Memorial Stadium tomorrow night, but also for the opening weekend of hunting season, the unofficial kickoff to hunting season, dove season, on Saturday. So maybe won't have to put on the duck hunting waders to wade through the sunflower fields.
I'll be honest with you, today's been one of those crazy days. I've not even looked at the weather forecast. I know how much it changes, and it's changed a lot over the last 2 days. So I don't even know the latest. I don't even know what they're talking about today. I've been so tied
Well,
up with
I looked at it this morning, Wes, and I know as recently as yesterday, and I mean, it's gotten a little better every day, but, you know, it wasn't looking good for football tomorrow night. But I think they're saying now maybe the track of Harvey is going to take it a little further east than originally believed, and which means it looks like some pretty heavy rain down in southeastern Arkansas, but by game time tomorrow night, I think it should have cleared central Arkansas at least. And the good news for the state's dove hunters is that we're instead of 6, 8, 10 inches of rain, now it's looking like half an inch to an inch, maybe 3 or 4 down in extreme southeast, like Chico County, Deshay County, Ashley County, that area down there. But the vast majority of dove hunters will probably it's probably going to be a little wet and muddy, but you won't be hunting in the rain or standing in knee-deep water on the low end of a field like
like I thought was going to be the case as recently as 24 hours ago. So I guess that's good news.
Trey, will the rain, all this rain, will it drive the dove north? Because I know, growing up in Texas, Central Texas, South Texas, that's a great dove hunting area. Will all this rain, the flooding, will that drive those birds somewhere else? Could they drive them up our way?
Yeah, it definitely could. I mean, obviously, we tend to think when anytime we're talking about migratory birds that it's especially I get caught in this type of thinking during duck season that it's a one-way deal. They're only coming from the north, but that's really not. We know from having different species of birds marked with primarily ducks. I'm talking here, but with satellite transmitters. I mean, they move. They can move hundreds of miles north, south, east, west, whatever direction. Overnight or in the course of a day, and I'm sure that there will be some doves dispersed and scattered around. I mean, now the thing about that is that's also that's there's two sides to that coin. There might move birds toward us, but anytime you have inclement weather, and there could be some obviously thunderstorms associated with this low pressure as it moves through. You're going to, you also stand to lose some birds if you've got them now. So that can happen both ways. But if you don't have some, you might move some in. So we'll just have to wait and see. I always tell folks, you can't take home any doves to throw on the grill if you're not out there.
We're talking with Trey Reed from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Trey, what about the license, the AGFC license system? It's been hot topic. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, hot topic's a fair way to put it.
Okay.
It has been really hot the last week or so. Wes, we went to a new license system back in it launched in April. Now, most folks, hunting license at least, hunting licenses all expire on June 30th. Which is part of the reason we rolled it out in the spring. Obviously, people buying fishing licenses, but not like everybody grabbing a hunting license at one time, like probably a lot of guys are doing right now, right here before dove season opens. But and some significant changes. Number one, we are allowing an electronic version of your license, so you can purchase your license at agfc.com or a licensed vendor for that matter. You'll get an email from Game and Fish, and you can download a PDF of your license to keep on your phone. A lot of people ask, well, what if I'm out there and I get checked by a wildlife officer and, my phone's dead? I don't have a signal. Number one, you don't have to have a signal to show that PDF copy that's saved to your phone. But if your phone's dead or dies while you're out there hunting, our game wardens can get your information from a driver's license. They can look you up. So there are ways to verify that you are a legally licensed hunter. But really what's come into play over the last few weeks is what's made it a hot topic is, the other change was that instead of the Tyvek paper that the licenses have been printed on for the past several years, we're going to an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just a regular piece of paper. Now, the reason that we did that is to make things easier. You can get a replacement license for free, print one out. You can have 4 or 5 licenses, put one in your boat, one in your four-wheeler, one at deer camp, whatever, one in your blind bag for duck hunting. It was intended to make things easier, but some guys, I guess, are worried that these paper licenses won't hold up. And sure, if they get wet, that could happen. But, what we've been telling folks, put them in a Ziploc bag. If you have access to or want to, get the thing laminated. I mean, I know, yes, sometimes your wallet gets wet when you're out there hunting or sweating, whatever. But really, I've never had a huge issue with this. Now, one thing that I think is a legitimate concern is the tags, like for, say, a deer tag. Now, we're still, although some urban archery hunts open Friday, we're still a few weeks away from archery deer season and several weeks away from muzzleloader and modern gun. But, one of the rule changes I want to make folks aware of is you do not have to use those paper tags that are on your license. Any kind of durable material, a piece of duct tape. Some folks have mentioned maybe getting like a metal dog tag. You can go to these little novelty shops and have dog tags made where you can slip some sort of waterproof type paper in the back. You don't have to use the paper tags. Now you can put them in a Ziploc, tape them to the antler, or use a zip tie to snug them up around the ear of a doe, whatever the case may be. But there have been some concerns on the part of sportsmen, and I think we're responding to that at Game Fish. One other piece of this license system that has been in the works since May, actually, but we had to kind of put it on the back burner to address some other issues with a new licensing system, is that in the next couple of weeks we're going to be offering a more durable credit card type license. Now, it will cost $3, but it's totally optional. You don't have to buy it. We're not trying to, make more money off of you. But if you are more comfortable carrying that as opposed to this paper license that's laminated or in a Ziploc or however you want to keep it dry, you can get one of these. Now, they're not available just yet, but here in the next week or two, they will be. I'll keep listeners informed here on my report on Wednesday afternoons, and you can always check our website, agfc.com. But that's sort of the latest on licensing, and I did want to make folks aware of that. We've heard your concerns and want to offer these suggestions or these other options to try to get over this hump here.
Trey, before we let you go, man, I thought it was really cool. I saw the tweets of the game and fish officers, game wardens heading down to Texas to help out.
Yeah, man. This is a storm and a natural disaster. Truly we've never seen. I heard this morning that this is the most rainfall that's ever been recorded from a tropical system in the continental United States. So, 50-plus inches of rain in some of those areas over in Houston. So we have a disaster response team. Our wildlife officers, several of those are part of this disaster response team. We've responded to storms, as far back as Hurricane Katrina, obviously tornadoes and flooding and things like that here at home. But we got the call I guess the night before last from officials in Texas, emergency management officials, and said, "Can you come help?" And we said, "Absolutely." So we've got 28 wildlife officers, as well as a couple of guys that actually work with me and doing photography and videography to kind of document what's going on down there with a dozen boats. I just got off the phone with Brian Aston from our enforcement division, who's leading our crew down there, and they were leaving. They got to San Antonio about 2 o'clock this morning, got about 3 hours of sleep, got some showers. They were headed to College Station to a new command center. And then from there tonight, they will be deployed to the Port Arthur and Beaumont area and begin doing some water rescues. Our guys have this specialized equipment, these boats and other resources, as well as a lot of training in swift water rescue. So they're really perfectly suited to do this job and to help out when our neighbors to the south need us the most.
That's awesome stuff. Trey, as always, thanks for your time. And, hey, thank you for coming in a little early today, doing the show a little early today. We got a big hour with Buck James and Brad Harris talking about the Salt Bowl in studio for hour number 3. But thank you for moving up.
It's football season. It's hunting season. Lots to talk about. I'm happy to be here at any time. Thanks, Wes.
Thanks, Trey. Have a great weekend. Trey Reed on the Fidelity Communications Hotline with a Game and Fish report when we come back. Got to name a Razorback of the day still to come. Jimmy Carter joins us. It's game on.
When it comes to the success of your small business, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? It may not sound like a lot of money, but it's enough to turn 500 strangers into 500 connections. All it takes is the right business card. Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. You heard right. 500 business cards for $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. But don't let the price fool you. Vistaprint uses only carefully selected inks and paper stocks, so your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed every time for any reason. You'll find dozens of designs that are just right for your business at Vistaprint, and you can add your logo and contact information with just a few clicks. It's never been easier to turn strangers into connections. Just visit Vistaprint and start today because this offer won't last forever. Get your 500 business cards for just $9.99 at Vistaprint.com. Use promo code 1616 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 1616.
The Arkadelphia Badgers play all season right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. The Badgers open the season Friday at Stuttgart. The Arkadelphia Badgers on 106.9 FM and FoxSportsArkansas.com.
We don't just carry our boxes to their destination. We carry your business. We carry your growth, your love of your products, and your service. When you hand your product over to us, we know how important it is to you, so we make it just as important to us. It's as if your entire store is right there in our hands. That's why at the United States Postal Service, we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone else in the country. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
My play-by-play was bland.
It's a first down. Whoa, baby.
I was suffering from a severe bold deficiency. That's when my doctor told me about Tabasco sauce. Adding Tabasco to my diet helped me put the bold back in the booth.
Touchdown! Holy guacamole!
Bold game day moments deserve bold Tabasco recipes. Bold moments, bold flavor. Tabasco. Using Tabasco may cause excitement at your home gating party. If you experience joy or even euphoria, turn on football immediately. Use Tabasco on pizza, wings, drinks, and guacamole. More recipes at Tabasco.com.
The crack of the bat, the cheer of the fans, basking in the sun on a summer day. Save now at Days Inn when you see your favorite team play. With over 1,600 locations, there's always a Days Inn nearby. Home or away with friends or family, bask in the sun at Days Inn. Stay 2 nights and save 20%. Plus earn 1,000 Wyndham Rewards bonus points when you book at daysinn.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Not getting your game on?
How about the Razorbacks stuck in an elevator? Which Razorback would you like to be stuck in the elevator? Maybe you do want the quarterback. Maybe you do want Austin Allen. Got to be calm under fire.
Maybe you want Dan Enos. Maybe you want an offensive coordinator, somebody who can design a plan.
Maybe you want a big guy in case he has to lift you out of there.
Well, and then you're also thinking, how much weight is this elevator supposed to bear for this long? How strong are those cables?
Get your game on with Wess Moore each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Recruiting Thursday with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette's Richard Davenport, with guests like Arkansas freshman receiver Koylan Jackson.
For SEC football, plain and simple, like strength, I know I'm going to need strength, increase my speed and flexibility. I mean, just like my dad can teach me, so, he knows what to do when it comes to big-time situations.
Listen to Recruiting Thursday each week from 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets, the 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Sports Talk with Bo Mattingly. Do you think this is a really miserable fan base?
Well, get rid of Beeman, though, we'll be a lot better.
Well, that's a different topic. I'm asking if you think Razorback fans right now are sort of miserable.
I'm happy.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Are you ever not happy?
I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm not happy about that. I'm about ready to retire.
Bo Mattingly, 2 to 6 on Fox Sports Arkansas. The Haskell Harmony Grove Cardinals play here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Brought to you by Bryan Family Pharmacy. It's the Cards and Bauxite Miners Friday night. Don't miss a minute of the action on 99.7 and FoxSportsArkansas.com. Talking sports with you through your lunch hour and impending food coma. Here's Wess Moore. It's your Big Red Store's Razorback of the Day.
I'm going to make Jerry Jones our Razorback of the Day. The former Razorback Cowboys owner is in Little Rock today. He'll be over at Catholic High School. It's the dedication of the newly constructed Gene and Jerry Jones family academic and athletic and annex at Catholic High School. They're going to be over there, 6 o'clock dedication. Great day for Catholic High School. Great day for the Jones family. 30,000 square foot building that opened in January, and today they're going to formally kind of celebrate this building and the addition to Catholic High School. Jerry Jones continuing to do great things for Central Arkansas. The Razorbacks, of course, the Student Success Center up there is a huge hit with the kids, the families. It's a great recruiting tool, but Jerry Jones and his family doing a lot for the University of Arkansas. And he is our Razorback of the Day. It's brought to you by Big Red Convenience Stores. Stop by today, pick up your Big Red discount card. Never pay full price for gas again. That's your Big Red Razorback of the Day. We got a lot going on in hour number 3 with Coach Harris from Benton and Buck James from Bryant in the studio. We'll be talking about the Salt Bowl and those two programs. So we're kind of squeezing a lot of things in right now. Jimmy Carter will join us in our next segment. I want to tell you real quick the Everett Buick GMC What to Watch.
I'm obsessed with watching TV.
I love television. I'm a TV baby, okay?
It's the Everett Buick GMC What to Watch.
You have baseball on TV right now. Cleveland and New York. Great series. Cleveland, red hot team. It's on the MLB Network. At 1 o'clock, St. Louis and Milwaukee begin. Comcast 95. Rangers and Astros in Tampa Bay. That game is televised by Fox Sports Net, 6 o'clock. Royals hosting Tampa Bay on Comcast 95. Dodgers, Arizona, late game, 10 o'clock on the MLB Network. That's a great series, too. And that's really about it. Not much else going on today. That's the Everett Buick GMC What to Watch. Go see our friends, Everett Buick GMC, Alcoa exit in Bryant. They're next to the Big Target Shopping Center. The Everett family's at the dealership right now, making sure you have the best car buying experience you've ever had. That's why they're the number one Buick GMC dealer in the country for the 7th year in a row, the number one General Motors dealership now. Pretty awesome. How they do it? They treat people right. Family-owned, customer-friendly. It really is a better way to buy. And they've got more than 1,000 new and previously owned vehicles on their lot. So check them all out online, EverettBGMC.com, EverettBGMC.com. So we go from a lot of baseball to watch to what to bank on. Just goes natural, right?
That's right. Baseball for fake gambling now.
Fake gambling, our fake bets, our fake bank accounts.
It's too bad it's fake winning right now.
How did we do last night?
Well, let's see. We both took the Cardinals over the Brewers. That was prescient. Luke Weaver is just kicking it right now. 10-2, Cardinals get the win. Both you and I up 100 from that. We also went with a dead solid lock, which was Chris Sale against Toronto, and that was a dead solid lock. 3-0 victory, another 100 for us. We split on the Dodgers and the D-backs. You didn't think L.A. would lose 3 in a row. I said the D-backs would have it, and they did. It was a 7-6 victory over the Dodgers. That's 3 straight losses.
Wow, I didn't know that.
See,
I went to bed last night a little early, and it wasn't over, and I thought the Dodgers were going to come back and win it.
Yeah, and so that was a minus 121 for you and a plus 121 for me.
What?
I got up 321 from yesterday, puts me up 431 for the week. You were down 90 going into the day. You were up 121 yesterday, so that's plus 31 for the week for you.
I'm out of the hole.
That's right. Now you got to build a little hill to stand on.
I'm making money. All right, I like it. Let's go. Let's make some picks for tonight.
Let's start with a day game. The Cardinals and the Brewers are playing in 24 minutes from right now.
We got to hurry, call the bookie.
In Milwaukee.
Hurry,
That's
hurry.
right. You got Carlos Martinez on the mound today for St. Louis, and it is Chase Anderson. I believe it's his 4th start since coming off the disabled list. The Cardinals got the win yesterday by a 10-2 final, and they're favored today, minus 115 for St. Louis.
I can't go with St. Louis. They won last night. That means they lose tonight. They're a 500 team. 500 teams, that's what they do. They win, they lose, they win. They don't put together any kind of a streak. That's the Cardinals for you. Just when the fans get excited about St. Louis, what happens? They lose a couple games. Then they'll win a couple games, and they'll lose. Nope, today they lose. I'm going with Milwaukee. I'll take the underdog.
I want to take St. Louis today. Anderson, the starter for Milwaukee's career ERA against the Cardinals, not bad, 3.38, but Carlos Martinez, lifetime against the Brewers, a 1.99 ERA. I'm taking St. Louis as a mild favorite. Also, Orioles hosting the Mariners. This is also a day game, 2:05 Central in Baltimore. The Orioles a slight favorite, minus 127. And Baltimore does come in hot with 6 consecutive wins. Ubaldo Jimenez pitching for the O's. He's 5-9 with a 6.57. Ariel Miranda for the Mariners. He's a former Oriole making his first career start against Baltimore. And Miranda with a 4.62 ERA, 8 wins and 6 losses. Again, it's Baltimore minus 127. And this has been a team that's been hot of late, Wes. I think that they cool off a little bit today. I have trouble trusting Ubaldo Jimenez in any situation. He's got a career ERA against Seattle of 6.50. I say even if that goes down by a little bit, Baltimore still loses. Seattle on the road.
Yeah, Baltimore, like you said, red hot, 7 out of 10. They've won 6 in a row. Seattle has lost 4 in a row. The Mariners, they've fallen 3 games behind in the wild card. They need this game. They're desperate. I think I like the pitching matchup. A determined team, Miranda over an ERA. What'd you say the ERA for Baltimore starter? Like 5 point, almost 6 something?
Yeah. I mean, Jimenez is the, he's the kind of guy that's got a career strained neck. You know what I mean?
Always looking, whoa.
That's right. Over the shoulder. Always looking over the shoulder.
You can do that on TV. You can go, oh. That's what happens when you're on Fidelity Local 6. No, on Facebook. We can do facial features. We can do. No, I'm gonna go with Seattle. You took Seattle?
I did.
I'm sticking with you. Seattle Mariners win.
All right. The rare neutral site regular season Major League Baseball game taking place today in St. Petersburg, Florida, where even the hometown Rays feel like it's a neutral site game every home game they play. Texas and the Astros, Dallas Keuchel pitching for Houston, and Andrew Kashner for Texas.
Wow, what a mismatch.
Yeah, that's why it's Houston minus 210.
Holy cow. Whew. Rangers put up 12 runs last night. You know what I noticed? You know who's back for the Rangers? Gallo.
Is it Mr. Gallo?
Gallo's back, and he hit a home run last night.
He's the guy that carries them.
They went to Oakland and struggled, because he missed some time, concussion protocol. The Rangers struggled without him. He comes back. They put up a 12 spot against the Astros last night. Keuchel, not a home game, not a road game, neutral site game. Kashner scares me, though. Man, Kashner scares me. Kashner's like so many 500 pitchers. He comes in sometimes looking good, and you're thinking, all right, got something to bank on here with Kashner. He's starting to put something together, and then he'll go out the next 2 starts and just stink it up, and you're like, why is he even pitching in the big leagues? He's so hard to put your thumb on.
But Keuchel is not hard to put your thumb on.
But I'm a Rangers fan, and they won yesterday. I got to go with Keuchel.
See, you're like me with the Pirates the other day there. I'm taking the Astros, too. I think that's a lock. Keuchel against the Texas Rangers this year, with an ERA of 0.71, and he's been great his last 3 starts. 3 runs in 20 2/3 innings against Washington, Oakland, and Texas. So he's going to do it again. I say Keuchel and the Astros, they are the home team, but it ain't no home game.
No, I saw some of the pictures, and some of the crowd wasn't as horrific as I thought it might be. It was okay.
There's a novelty. I've never been to a neutral site major league game, but I would think there's a little novelty to that. The thing is Tampa, they just don't go to the games, and they blame it on the ballpark. It's a great baseball town because they've got, all sorts of baseball played there, spring training, but it's the ballpark is what they blame poor attendance on. I could just imagine how many people were there yesterday. What was the attendance? Did you see it?
Look that up real quick.
I couldn't imagine it was even more than
3,485.
Yeah, there were minor league teams near Little Rock that were,
and they were all sitting right there around the diamond. So some of the pictures, it wasn't just 10 people here and 10 people. So all 3,400 were right there in the first level. There was nobody up high, So.
You know what that feels? That was like when Arkansas and Kansas State played at the K.
It's exactly, yeah.
But that was a college game, not a major league game.
Not two big leaguers.
Right.
All right, we got to go. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Razorback football. We'll hit on the Culligan Water questions of the day. Don't forget Buck James, Brad Harris in the studio. Hour number 3. It's game on.
Know what these first-year Razorbacks all have in common?
Cameron Curl, who committed to Arkansas last week.
Nebraska was my number 1 team. Arkansas was. Baylor was. And Texas was.
Chase Hayden's going to start it off. Arkansas running back commitment joins us.
How loud the stadium was. I was pretty surprised. I mean, I didn't know the stadium would get that loud.
Malik Williams, who's in Fayetteville to report to Arkansas. Start classes next week.
They all appeared on Recruiting Thursday with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports.
Bring on a future Hog who just made his commitment to the Razorbacks about a week ago. Corlin Jackson.
Finding a way in open field and knowing your quarterback. You got to know what he wants and where to be.
Hear the Razorbacks before they become Razorbacks on Recruiting Thursday with Richard Davenport.
Kyrie Fisher, 6'2", about 234, 4.62, speed of Tulsa Union.
I want to start. I'm not coming here early to be a second string.
Recruiting Thursday each week from 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas. Not getting your game on? They are.
Ron Calcagney, the Razorback legend.
The first time I heard the Razorback call was from Coach Broyles. He did it in our home. No shame, and we didn't know what the hog call was, and taught us the hog call. And it was strange to us, Ohio boy. And what a legend. Sure, he was a legend when he was alive, but now, he's totally a legend. He'll always be in my mind and my heart.
Get your game on with Wess Moore each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Arkansas State Red Wolves football plays on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Fade right side, caught, touchdown Arkansas State with 9 seconds to go.
Hear the premier football program in the Sun Belt on 690 AM, 93.7 FM, and 1380 AM, 105.5 FM.
Second time and it's blocked. The Red Wolves will fall on top of
We're with the Red Wolves all season.
Touchdown Arkansas State
on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets, the 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Hello. Hey,
Every
Jimmy,
week,
Phil
get
Elson,
the
how you doing?
inside scoop from the authority on Razorback recruiting. Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Jeff 20 Poole and Lori Poole, the parents of Arkansas linebacker commitment.
Listen to Recruiting Thursday each week from 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas. Welcome back to the Razorback Camper Sales Studios. Now with more of Game On, here's Wess Moore.
Back at it, we're going straight to the Fidelity Communications Hotline, bringing in Jimmy Carter from WholeHogSports.com. Jimmy, welcome to the show. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good. Getting ready to head your way tomorrow afternoon. Hope I don't bring too much rain with me.
Well, it's already coming our way. I just saw the radar, and the first bit of showers headed towards Little Rock, but it's looking better and better. Earlier this week, it looked terrible.
Yeah,
like it could be like flooding.
Bleak earlier.
Yeah, but we'll take it. Look, I'll be happy if we just get a little rain, no lightning delays. Let's just get the game in and get out. Jimmy, is there anything good we can learn about the Razorbacks tomorrow?
That's a good question. And I think that no, in the grand scheme of things, probably not. I mean, Florida A&M's not a good team, a good football team, for lack of a better way to put it. This isn't going to be a challenging game for Arkansas, but it is, obviously their tune-up kind of walkthrough before TCU, before Texas A&M. I think you want to see them be dominant in every facet of the game. and you want to see some of the younger guys get reps. You look at the receivers; they don't know if Jared Cornelius and T.J. Hammonds are going to play. There'll be game time decisions. Wouldn't surprise me if they kept Jared out. They know what he can do. He's a proven commodity, and if they do hold him out and save him for next week, then you get more of a chance to see some of the young guys at receiver, to see them operate with Austin Allen in a game setting, even though it may not be against a great opponent. That probably has some value. Defensively, they've got a lot of young guys in the two deep. Obviously, aside from Sosa, Agim, really, nobody that's been a consistent, proven playmaker on the defensive line. So you want to see them be completely dominant. You wouldn't expect them to do a lot as far as what they bring blitz-wise or anything. You'd think it'd probably be pretty vanilla. So you would like to see them be able to still get pressure and still dominate Florida A&M without really doing much or bringing anything. And then, build a big enough lead so that some of these young guys like Grant Morgan, like D. Walker, some of the freshman corners, Kevin Curl, Chevin Callaway, young guys who haven't ever played in a football game at this level can get enough snaps, because depth has been an issue on defense for so long at some of these spots, especially linebacker, that when you've got young guys who are next up who've never taken a snap in a game, you'd like to let them get their feet wet a little bit. So I think that's more really what this game is for. You'd expect them to be dominant. You want some of the young guys to get some time, and obviously you'd like to come out of it injury-free and ready to go with a little extra prep time for TCU.
Yeah, staying healthy and then getting is that the keys for you? Is there something else you want to see? Is there a particular player you want to watch and see him in game action?
Florida A&M, probably, if it has a strength, is its defensive line. That's one of the better parts of their team. So I'm interested to see how Colton Jackson performs. He's gotten rave reviews all throughout fall camp, and obviously he's been the subject of a lot of scrutiny since last year. He started the first 3 games, was fairly ineffective, and obviously got replaced at right tackle by Brian Wallace for the remainder of the season. They've really liked what he's done in fall camp. They've talked all the time about how he had one bad practice early on in the first maybe week or so, and really bounced back from that, and has been really good. So everything sounds encouraging. You want to see it in the game. This isn't TCU. It's definitely not Texas A&M. No one is Alabama, but you would like to see him go. If there is a strength on this football team that they're playing, if there is a strength for Florida A&M, it's the defensive line. So you kind of like to see how he handles the live setting, if he picks up everything blitz-wise, how he's improved in the run game, because that was as much of an issue as anything last year for him. So him and I'll throw Brian Wallace in there too, because he's been a little inconsistent. So I'll be interested to see how the offensive tackles do, and not that it's going to be a great indicator of things to come, but those 2 guys are young, and it'll be interesting to see if they do look improved compared to the versions of them that we saw last year.
All right, Jimmy, I got a series of questions for you. It's our Culligan Water questions of the day. How confident are you that the Razorbacks win at least 6% or 6 games? What percentage, confidence-wise, are you? They win at least 6 games.
Oh, I would say, 80-85%. Okay. I mean, there's so many toss-up games in the air out there that I think that it would be obviously very disappointing if they didn't. 85% might be low. I think that they'll definitely win 6 games.
That's what I said. You know what? I said 99.9. Unless Austin Allen gets hurt, I will guarantee you they're going to win at least 6 games.
Yeah, I would go with that. All
right. How confident are you they win at least 7 games?
I will say 70-75%.
Okay, we're right there together. 8 games. How confident?
Ooh, okay. So this one starts to get tough. Give me 45%.
All right, I went 50. We're right there. How confident are you when they win 9 games?
Give me 20%.
Okay. 10.
You're at 10. Oh, wow.
No. How confident are you they win 10 games?
Okay. Oh, wait. First off, how confident were you that they get?
I said 25%. I said maybe about 1 out of 4.
This is eerie.
Yeah.
10. Give me 5%.
Okay. I said less than 10%. So
yeah,
we're pretty close. We're pretty close. I'm thinking, look, and I talked to someone today, and I don't have a good feel, and there's so many toss-up games. It's hard this year to predict, but I'm thinking, I think they have – maybe I'm a little bit more optimistic than some people, but I think they got a shot, a really decent shot of winning 8 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think that early season stretch when you go TCU, A&M, South Carolina back to back to back. I mean, obviously there's so many stretches that you can point to. You're in the SEC West, but that'll be interesting because you could see them start out 1-3. You could see them start out 2-2, 3-1, 4-0. You really don't know. And I think obviously it's easier to pick the games after some of them been through. But there's just so many toss-up games where you look at the team you're going up against, and you're like, man, it's pretty evenly matched. And so any predictions, obviously just a guess, but it's a lot harder to do this year. At least it feels like it.
Jimmy, maybe it was the Frank Ragnow letter yesterday about Austin Allen. I don't know if people are as excited as they should be about Austin Allen. I think when you have a senior quarterback with experience that can be a playmaker, a game changer, if Austin has one of those years, he could be the game changer that Arkansas has been looking for. They had McFadden or Matt Jones that could take it 70 yards, but a quarterback can be a game changer. He can do certain things, special things. And I don't know if people are as excited about Austin Allen as they should be, because I think he could have one of those kind of years that could change, win them a couple games just the way he plays.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think that a lot of people are probably less excited than they should be, maybe as a result of the way that last year finished, for the team and him. Obviously, he was banged up for most of the last half of the season and had a couple games where he did not play very well, including, the second half of the Belk Bowl. He didn't play his best, and I think that sort of clouds people's memories of how great he was whenever he was healthy earlier in the season, and just how, what he did to win them some of the games that they did win. And I think that obviously you look at it going into year 2, like you said, a senior who's been through it, who's proven that he can make big-time throws in the pocket under duress. He's the key to this football team. You got young receivers, and you sit there and say, okay, they're pretty athletic, and they have Austin Allen throwing to them. The whole offense goes as he goes because he's able to make checks this year. Obviously, we know he can make almost any pass, if not every pass on the field. But he's making checks better this year at the line. He's just more comfortable, more confident. He's more assertive. That's something that Frank mentioned in his letter that he wrote yesterday. He may be the best quarterback in the SEC, and that's it's not a statement to be taken lightly. And when you have the best quarterback in the SEC and an offensive line that obviously should be much better, you've got a chance to be in most games. He gives you a shot, which you mentioned Darren McFadden, Matt Jones. It's hard to sort of compare explosive athletes with a quarterback, but if your quarterback's that good and that, I think he's gotten to the point where he knows everything so well and he's been through it. If he's that cerebral, he gives you a shot in maybe some situations that you might not, you maybe shouldn't have one. So yeah, I think that. I don't think that they underappreciate him, because I think that Arkansas fans, know he's good, but I don't think that they maybe appreciate just how good he can be and has the potential to be this year.
Jimmy, thanks, man. Appreciate your time. Safe travels to Little Rock. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Thank you.
Jimmy Carter, WholeHogSports.com. Coming up in hour number 3, Buck James, Brad Harris talking about the Salt Bowl in studio. It's game on.
Sports Talk with Bo Mattingly.
Do you think this is a really miserable fan base?
I'll get rid of Bielema. We'll be a lot better.
Well, that's a different topic. I'm asking if you think Razorback fans right now are sort of miserable.
I'm happy.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Are you ever not happy?
I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm not happy about that. I'm about ready to retire.
Bo Mattingly, 2 to 6 on Fox Sports Arkansas. Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Bryant Hornets. Brought to you by UA Little Rock Benton Campus, Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, Bryant Parks and Rec, Mid-State Transmission, Bryant Family Pharmacy. From the Salt Bowl through the playoffs, on 690 AM, 93.7 FM, the Bryant Hornets play here. Fox Sports Arkansas. The Arkadelphia Badgers play all season right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. The Badgers open the season Friday at Stuttgart. The Arkadelphia Badgers on 106.9 FM and FoxSportsArkansas.com.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
Ugh, why is this water so gross?
You have problem water.
Hey, Culligan Man.
Sediment, scale, or impurities in your household's water can cause an unpleasant look, smell, and taste. But a Culligan Whole House Water Conditioning System is the smart, affordable, and effortless way to get rid of all that, so your family can enjoy Culligan.
Test 1, 2, 3 real quick. Go ahead.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Very good. Okay. You've got, if you want to put that earphones on to hear a little better, you can.
Okay.
The only water that comes with the Culligan Man.
Again, that's Culligan of North Little Rock, 501-753-5236. Or visit their website at culligannlr.com.
Do you need a job or want a better one? The Arkansas Department of Workforce Services is committed to helping job seekers in their search for employment. Ask about our occupational skills assessment, Microsoft IT computer training, or other opportunities for which you may be eligible. All services are free. Visit an Arkansas Workforce Center in your area or call 855-225-4440 for a location nearest you. Again, all services are free. What are you waiting for? That's 855-225-4440. ADWS is an equal opportunity employer.
Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Brought to you by Royal Blue, First Arkansas Financial, McCoy Tigert Pharmacy, College of the Washitas, TMK Properties. Listen to the Yellow Jackets battle Little Rock McClellan this Friday at FoxSportsArkansas.com. Fox Sports Arkansas, KDXC North Little Rock, KAFN Benton, KZYP Melbourne, KWPS Cadovet, KDEL Arkadelphia, KVRC Arkadelphia, KYXK Gurdon. Trending now.
Get things cracking in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns have just released cornerback Joe Hayden. Hayden was a first-round pick of Cleveland back in 2010, but was asked to take a pay cut from the $11.1 million he was owed this season before his release. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, believes that the two-time Pro Bowler will be with a new team within a day or two. In Major League Baseball, Dodgers are on a mini skid right now. They've lost 3 straight after getting beat in the desert by the Diamondbacks 7-6. Giancarlo Stanton socked home run number 51 of the season in the nation's capital, but the Marlins fell to the Nats 8-3. Stanton had 18 home runs so far in the month of August. Astros expect Carlos Correa to be back on Friday against the New York Mets. His team, though, got clobbered by Texas 12-2. I'm David Gascon.
Turn me on.
This is Steve Gorman Sports.
Tom Brady does not have
If you are an addict, listen carefully. Whether it's prescriptions, opioids, cocaine, or alcohol, addiction is killing 13 people every hour. People like you. Addiction does not discriminate with the lives it takes and the families it tears apart. But there is a way out. We're the Addiction Network. Our free service was established to fight addiction and help save people's lives. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, call now. We'll connect you with someone who's been where you are. Addiction is a disease. You can't beat it on your own, but we can help you with the fight. The call is free, confidential, and if you have private health insurance, you could have your treatment covered at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Call the Addiction Network now.
15 seconds. Stand by.
Call 800-830-8312. That's 800-830-8312. Again, 800-830-8312. That's 800-830-8312.
It's game time. Game On is back. Arkansas's midday show is on the air. With Fox 16 Sports Director Wess Moore. Get ready and get your game face on.
Hour number 3. Thank you for joining us. Welcome inside the Razorback Camper Sales studio. It's a full studio again. Brad Harris, Buck James, Benton and Bryant, Salt Bowl. We're going to talk a little football with them the next hour. We had Paul Cowley and Daryl Patton in here for the first hour, and those guys, that's two different cats right there. I mean, that was an hour of laughing and them cutting up on each other. What kind of relationship do you guys have? Being, Benton, Bryant, Salt Bowl, I guess it's kind of your relationships had to grow. As many different appearances you got to do for the Salt Bowl, you get to know each other.
Yeah, a little bit. I think Buck and I go back to when I was at Arkadelphia and he was at Camden Fairview a little bit, and just knowing each other. But other than that, it was just kind of a professional relationship, I guess, knowing each other. But we've got to know each other well. Last year's appearances was Salt Bowl. Then again this year, this is our second one. We'll make one more this week. So, we may start hanging out on Friday nights after the game or something. We get to see each other much more.
But it probably won't be like Callie and Patton. You won't know the stories.
Paul Cowley's one of a kind. I tell you, he's a good one.
And I think maybe social media, following different coaches, you see how the coaching community, how close knit, I guess it is a good way of putting it. You guys, maybe fans want to think y'all are button heads, but y'all know somebody. Y'all do it's in the same jobs. There's a bond between coaches. I guess the best way to put it.
There's no doubt. It's a coaching fraternity. I think none of us are smart enough to figure out something on our own, and I think we share a lot of ideas. We're always constantly swapping tapes and things, and so it gives us an opportunity to network. And I think you have coaching trees, and sort of what route you came up and under who mentored you is sort of your fraternity that you're in.
How did your scrimmages? How did that impact this last week? Because we had both of you on the show, and I don't think either one of you were really thrilled about the scrimmage. But I also talked with Coach Register and Coach Kelly, and they were both praising both of your teams. So I'm sure y'all weren't as happy as you were. How did that carry over to this past week?
Well, I think for us it was a little bit of an eye-opener for us, because I really think some of our guys, and they've made this comment, that we underestimated Central just a little bit coming into that first ball game. And last year it was one of those where we kind of handled them easily throughout the scrimmage, but they came in and played extremely well, and our guys came out a little bit flat, like I was telling you on the show earlier. And I think it was a little bit of an eye-opener for our guys, and it took us a little while to get going. We didn't play terrible. I just didn't see the enthusiasm and the desire and energy that I would have liked to have seen for the first ball game. The scrimmage game was tough on us. We lost one of our quarterbacks, and then we also lost a defensive end. So, you're ready to get started with that pregame scrimmage and everything, but then when you take two guys that you miss there, it hits you hard there.
Coach, what's the last week been for y'all?
Well, we had to learn, what Coach Harris is talking about. We had to learn what it's like to be a football player and what it takes to compete. Of course, we played Pulaski Academy, and Pulaski Academy, you play them in August, or if you play them in December, you're going to get the same group of guys. I mean, they get off the bus thinking they're going to win. Their mentality is they're going to win. They're going to score 50 points every time they touch the field. They're going to play sound, thorough football. They're not going to physically just beat you up, but they're very good at what they do. And I'm disappointed in our group because of the same thing Coach Harris talking about. Our mentality wasn't what it should have been. We didn't play to the level that I expected us to play at, and our football IQ has to improve. My homework assignment to them this weekend was to go and watch as many high school games on TV as you could, and pro games and college games and learn the game and when you make plays and when you do things. And I think that our football team has got to understand that just going out and going through the motions is not what the game is about. It's an emotional game. You have to play it with fire and vigor, and you have to go out and play every play and try to be 1-0 every play. And then hopefully the game will turn out the same way. But I feel the same way Coach Harris did. By no means did we underestimate those guys, but they're a very good football team, and there's not a lot of people lined up to play them in scrimmages. I can assure you of that.
Can you coach that passion, or is that going to come from within?
I think a lot of that is an intrinsic thing. I think a coach's job maybe is to turn the right key or push the right button for some kids, But a lot of that comes from within a kid. They either have it or they don't have it. And I think you kind of have two different sides to a scrimmage game. Sometimes guys just get, they're trying to get through it to get to that week one game, especially when you have the hype of a game like we're getting ready to play and everything. And I think our guys kind of look forward to playing the Bryant game, and they look forward to playing in front of that big crowd and stuff. And you come out there for a scrimmage game, and there's maybe a couple hundred people here and there, and there's no excuse for not showing up to play hard every time, like Coach James said. You've got to have that. You've got to step on the field with the right mentality. The other night we didn't do that though, and that's what I worry about. And I've said all along we're a very young team, and it showed the other night. So hopefully we don't have too many nights like we did, but I expect us to have a little night every now and then like that because of the youth and inexperience we're going to play with this year.
Coach, can you draw it out of them, that passion? Can you get them?
I think it's the coach's job to get what they don't do. I think if they need emotion, then we've got to find where that emotion comes from. If it's intensity, we've got to find where that comes from. But, the coach's job is to do what your kids need to get done to be successful. And, we can't play the game for them, but we can definitely show them the route that it takes to be successful, and by past experiences or by what you have experienced from prior seasons with those group of guys, and then you try to model that through your juniors and seniors, and hopefully your sophomores catch on, and it becomes a tradition. And I think that's what Kevin has going on over at Pulaski Academy. People can say whatever they want, but he reloads that ship every year, and regardless of what type of player he has, he models his program to what he wants it to be, and then those kids fall in line. And I think if you look at Nick Saban or anybody, I think that's what those guys are able to do. And you've got to be you've got to be imaginative, you've got to be creative, and you've got to find ways to motivate kids who really can push the restart button anytime they want to now. And you don't get restarts in football. The game is going to be recorded, the game's going to be documented, and you're going to have to suffer the consequences either way it goes. And there's no sense in not the way football is being coached today and the way the media is involved, and that a kid can't go out there and get ready to play 10, 12, 14 ball games a year.
Isn't it crazy now? We talk about year-round. Football's a year-round sport. Y'all work year-round, and you got guaranteed 10 games. You talk about basketball, baseball, whatever sport. There's a lot more. You get 10 games. And I'm sure that drives you crazy. You can't get fired up for 10 games and be ready for year round, and you get 10. And
that's the thing about, like you're talking about, you only have 10 games you're guaranteed. And I don't see how, as a high school football player, college football player, whatever level you're playing, how you do not get excited about that. And even embracing the practices. That's what we talk about our kids. Football is going to end for them at some point. The air is going to come out of the ball for them, and you have to embrace the practices. The only way that we get the end product on Friday night is to give that same effort on practice days. And we typically have very upbeat practices, very high tempo practices, good energy, things like that. But for whatever reason, we dropped the ball the other night against Central with our energy level. And just like I told them, that kind of goes back on me. I didn't maybe push the right button early on, and we kind of got going throughout the game, but thought we started very slow the other night. So hopefully we can get a better start this next week and make it an exciting ball game.
Because of partly because of the Salt Bowl, because of the football love in Saline County, when you talk about building a program, something similar to some of the others around the state, does it make it a little easier, your job, a little easier because of the love, because of the attention here in Saline County with Benton and Bryant?
Well, I think it gives you a chance to work hard. I think it gives you a chance to prepare in your off-season program and go through the process of learning offense, defense, and putting it together. But I think it gives you a chance for kids to be held accountable to what they can do, and coaches accountable to what the kids can do. And I think that works hand in hand. I think no matter how much football you know or how much you can teach, it matters how much those kids can do on the football field. And I think there's a fine line between that. But our kids have to understand that it is a process. Not everybody can start. Not everybody can be the best player on the team. You have to understand your role. You have to understand your process. And you have to go out there and earn your position. And sometimes you have to wait and learn your craft. And, we have guys who have to be unselfish. They might want to be a defensive lineman and, don't want to be an offensive lineman. So, or they want to be a D-back and they got to be a receiver. So, it's some give and take. But I think great football teams have the understanding of what it takes to do what they've got to do, and coaches get those kids to buy into it. And then hopefully the finished product will be something that you as a coach and a fan base will be proud of.
We got Buck James, Brad Harris in the studio. When we come back, we'll talk more individually about Bryant, Benton, the Salt Bowl, these teams, these players. Stick around. It's game on.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 1 day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your home for the 2017 Salt Bowl. Fox Sports Arkansas. Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Brought to you by Royal Blue, First Arkansas Financial, McCoy Tigert Pharmacy, College of the Washitas, TMK Properties. Listen to the Yellow Jackets battle Little Rock McClellan this Friday at FoxSportsArkansas.com.
Joining us now, Paul Cowley, head coach at Haskell Harmony Grove, Jim Withrow, head coach at Sylvan Hills. Joining us now, Malvern's head coach, Mike Scarborough.
Nobody covers high school football like we do.
Kevin Kelly, head coach at the Pulaski Academy Bruins. Brad Harris, head coach at Benton, joins us now.
You're an asset to Arkansas high school football, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. I love high school football. It's a lot of fun to cover.
Get your game on with Wess Moore each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas.
83%. Did you know that 83% of all learning in school is visual? Now imagine you're an 11-year-old child sitting in a classroom, unable to see the board, and your family can't afford glasses. Want to help? Now you can. This is Chuck Barron. And thanks to the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation's Eyes of a Champion program, children from all over Arkansas are being given the gift of sight. Log on to BrandonBurlsworth.org to see how you can help make a child's life brighter.
Listen to Sports Talk with Bo Mattingly 2 to 6 Monday through Friday on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets. The 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
The Arkadelphia Badgers play all season right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. The Badgers open the season Friday at Stuttgart. The Arkadelphia Badgers on 106.9 FM and FoxSportsArkansas.com. Want to talk to us? Call the Fidelity Communications hotline at 501-386-9600.
All right, back at it. Buck James, Brad Harris, Benton and Bryant talking about the Salt Bowl in the studio. All right, I know it wasn't your first Salt Bowl, but it's first time as a head coach, both of you guys. Did it live up to what you were told, the expectations, the hype coming out the tunnel as a head coach for the Salt Bowl last year? What was it like?
Well, I think definitely. I mean, anytime you walk out into that stadium with, roughly 30,000 people, it's a different atmosphere. I can remember in 2014 walking out when I was a defensive coordinator, and it was a totally different feel. You had that energy in the air. I even looked down when I was standing beside my oldest son, Drew, one time, and he had little goosebumps on his arms, and you could tell that there was a different feel in the air, that night. And last year I thought it was a great atmosphere. I thought it was a great high school football game last year. You play a 10-7 ball game. If you love football, that's what you want to see. Thought we had some good plays, and thought Bryant had some great plays. But as far as living up to the hype last year, I thought it was a great atmosphere and a great ball game for us.
Coach James,
I was blown away. I've been in the stadium for state championship games, and 8,000 to 10,000 people roughly. But to look over there and see the side completely filled up, and to see the maroon on one side and the blue on the other, I think any football enthusiast would love that. And the kids get into it. The week leading up to it is unbelievable, and I don't mind all the things that go on, but it is a distraction from a standpoint, from my standpoint, but maybe not from our coaches or players. But it's a different type of week, and I echoed this at the press conference. But it's such a difference from a state championship week to this. This is a bigger event than a state championship is, and I guess because of Benton and Bryant being so close, and then the media outlets that promote this, and it's a great thing for high school football. It's a great thing for these kids and both schools and both communities. I think it's a tremendous plus for anybody that's involved in this event.
How long would you last if you had to do this every week?
It's definitely a homecoming times 10. You've got a lot of different things. I mean, this is almost like to me, almost like a college football coach right now. You're dealing with the interviews, the media more, maybe the little distractions throughout the week that go on for your players and everything else. But, I think it's a great high school experience for these kids. Not everybody ever gets to play in front of a crowd this big and get the hype up. I mean, we go to our, the big pep rally, community pep rally tonight at Everett, and Bryant had theirs last night. Very seldom do you have communities that join together and businesses that throw big pep rallies and feed anybody that shows up and things like that. I think it's a great experience as a coach, for these kids to experience. A lot of times you want to try to keep your thumb on them and make sure they're not doing too much, but we got to look at the big picture. It's high school athletics. You want them to enjoy every minute they got. Like Coach James said earlier, there's some kids, they need to know their role. Some of their roles are to just be a part of it, and some of those kids know that, so they love to be along just for the ride. Some of them, and it's great. They can tell their kids and grandkids about playing in front of 30,000 or being on the sideline or experiencing some of the activities they have. So it's an awesome experience for them.
You're experiencing what it's like to be a college coach, dealing with the media and all this stuff. Now you just need their paycheck that comes at the end of the week. That helps them get through it each week.
That would be a bonus. I'd take Bielemas for a week.
Yeah. Buck James, Brad Harris with us in the studio. We're talking about the Salt Bowl. Last year, you were in here, both of you guys, and you were dead honest with us. One of you explained, I think it was you, Buck, it said it was going to be like a pillow fight offensively. That both it seemed like offense, and you were dead on. I mean, offensively, it was an offensive challenged game. The defensives dominated the games. What are we going to see this year?
Well, I think I know from our standpoint, we're further along in what we wanted to do. I mean, last year I think we sleptwalked through probably about the first 4 games of the year anyway, and our defense was good. Benton's defense was very good, and we knew that going into the game, if you watch much film, that you knew the defenses were going to be dominant in the game, and the offenses weren't very potent. But offense sells tickets and defense wins championships, and we understood what it was going to be. This year, I think it's a little bit different. We've got more returning starters on offense than Benton does. I hope to be better offensively. Now, if we're going to be any more explosive or any better at what we're doing, that's all on paper. And a lot of that depends on how well defensively Benton plays. And the same thing for him. I think if our defense plays great, then the offense, is going to struggle, and that's just part of it this time of the year. But you have to take the good with the bad, and early in the year, usually offenses are a little bit behind defenses, and I expect both defenses to play very well this week. And I think you look around high school football all across America, I think defenses most of the time win most of the ball games.
Well, we defensively are a little bit behind what we were last year. We feel like we graduated 8 defensive starters, and we knew going in last year that was going to be the strength of our team, we felt like, especially our linebacking core, those guys that had a lot of experience the year before, and our D-line. This year we're starting 5 new linebackers in our 3-5 look. That's a totally different animal when you're dealing with experience to inexperience there. But we like some of the guys that are playing there. They play with a lot of energy and everything. And going back to the scrimmage, we felt like we were going to look a lot better offensively than we did defensively throughout the scrimmage. But offensively, we didn't ever got it clicking the other night. And, we really felt like going in that we was going to be ahead offensively. So going into this week, we still like what we're doing offensively. Feel real good with where we're at. We did take a hit by losing Peyton Hudgens as one of our quarterbacks, but we feel confident in Colin Morrow and the rest of the guys. But going in, we knew we wasn't going to be a team that threw it around a lot. We hope to be able to run the football effectively. We're bigger up front on our offensive line than we have been. We feel like we're a lot better on our offensive line right now than we were a year ago at this point. Last year, we were never able to get the run game going against Bryant, and we really felt like that hurt us offensively. And a lot of that is their defensive mentality. They're very aggressive and attacking, and we know we're going to see that same thing this year, but we feel like we're a little bit better up front in order to be able to handle that aggression that they got. So hopefully we can get our run game going a little bit this year against them and make it a little bit more of an offensive ball game for us.
So we're going to sell some tickets today, and we're going to guarantee more than 17 points.
Well, let's hope so.
They may score more than 17 against us with our defense.
We got Brad Harris and Buck James in the studio. We're talking about the Salt Bowl. Coach, how long does it take? I'll start with you, Coach James. How long does it take a kid to settle down in an environment like this?
I think probably after the first series. I think they're pretty much oblivious to everything around them, and they start playing football. A lot of them start worrying about how much they can breathe and how tired they're getting, and we try to get, take some of the focus off of that. But I think in any big game or a boxing match or whatever it may be, I think after the first punch is thrown, first time you've gotten out there and you've understood a series and you get over a chance to reflect on what you've done, I think they just start playing football. I mean, the way you practice football nowadays it's almost game-like every day anyway. And so, to me, there should not be much of a difference between what you're doing in practice and what you're doing in the game. And I think after they get out there and go through the process one time, I think, it should be all hands on deck playing ball.
I would agree with that. I mean, I would think, usually after that first series, if you have some butterflies, so to speak, or you're a little bit uneasy about things.
Too amped up.
Yeah, a little bit too amped up or something. I think after that first series, it's kind of an eye-opener. You get hit the first time, you make a play, and then you just settle in. They start playing football. And we as a coach, I think we do the same thing. Sometimes you come out a little bit amped up, and your players feed off that. And then, it takes you a little while to kind of get your bearings or something sometimes. But I think within the first series, usually, it's back to football. It's like you're playing in front of a regular crowd and everything. I think they kind of quit looking in the stands and quit being so big-eyed. But, during pregame and everything, that's when you got to try to get them focused up, I think. That's when they're checking out how many people are in the stands. And, our kids, they want to play in front of 35,000, They look at that attendance just like everybody else, because they like to brag about that. But I think in pregame maybe one of the bigger distractions, just look them looking at the stadium and checking out everything.
So I'm curious from an X's and O's standpoint, knowing this, that maybe that first series, do you maybe call it a little different, offensively, defensively, depending on if you have? Do you do anything a little bit different that first series to let while they're trying to get all this stuff out, than you might second, third, fourth series?
I don't know. You go into some games, I think, as a coach, and you try to feel your opponent.
Or am I digging something out of you, and you're like, I'm not touching this one.
Waiting on his answer.
He pulled out his pencil, and you didn't notice that.
Sometimes, you go into it trying to feel your opponent out, but and then other times you're very aggressive, from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, I've always been the type that I want to be aggressive from the opening whistle to the very end. But offensively, you kind of take two different philosophies, and we really know what Bryant's going to do. They're going to be aggressive defensively, so we know that we know what we're getting with these guys. They got a lot coming back from a defensive standpoint, and we know that we've got to go attack and be aggressive from the opening, kickoff to the very last for us to have opportunity to be in the ball game.
You gonna tell us anything? You gonna do anything
we're
different?
Coming out guns blazing. I can promise you, both sides of the ball. And anything less than that, I'm gonna be disappointed. And I expect Benton to do the same. I think this is one of those games you go for it. If you want to lay up, go fishing. I think it's a football game. I think the kids are excited about playing. People paid their money. They're gonna come out on a Saturday. I say put on a show and play fast, play hard, and let it fall where it may.
I don't know if y'all are rah-rah guys in the locker room before the game, but is this one of those games you don't really even have to say much?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a game that definitely they either got it or they don't when they come into the stadium. But, I'm always the kind of guy that tries to get them really, going in the locker room pregame-wise and try to have something good to say to them motivational-wise that pertains to the game. I think you got to, like Coach James said earlier, you've got to know what buttons to push. That's your job as a coach to get it out of them. You got to know what kids you got to approach and what mannerisms he's got. I think every kid is different, and you try to give the big speech to the whole team, but then you also go behind and you get that certain player that they've got to have something extra for them.
I really don't say a lot before the game. I try to do all my talking during the week and what my expectations are and what I expect them to do and the intensity level I expect them to play at. And before the game, I just want to make sure that they're calm. If they see me calm, they should be calm. And now halftime, sometimes it didn't work that way for some reason. But I try to just, I think game day is for the players. And I'm not there to be a cheerleader or anything else like that. I want it to be business-like on our end, and our coaches understand their roles and their expectations of those kids. And if we're not getting that at halftime, then we tend to try to adjust that a little bit and then, let the kids play. I think, that's what kids want to do. They want to play football. And I tell our coaches this every day. They didn't come out here to work, grind, beat themselves against the ground and everything else. They came out to play football. And, heck, if you can't play football, then why go to play in the football game? And so I want those guys to enjoy the game. I want them to have fun playing it. I want them to play fast. I want them to be physical. And I want them to have fun. And having fun is doing well.
Buck James, Brad Harris in the studio. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Salt Bowl, some of the keys, what these guys are looking for. Stick around. It's Game On.
Know what these first-year Razorbacks all have in common?
Cameron Curl, who committed to Arkansas last week.
Nebraska was my number one team. Arkansas was. Baylor was. And Texas was.
Chase Hayden's going to start it off. Arkansas running back commitment joins us.
How loud the stadium was, I was pretty surprised. I didn't know the stadium would get that loud.
Malik Williams, who's in Fayetteville to report to Arkansas. Start classes next week.
They all appeared on Recruiting Thursday with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports.
Bring on a future Hog who just made his commitment to the Razorbacks about a week ago, Corlin Jackson.
Finding a way in open field and knowing your quarterback. You got to know what he wants and where to be.
Hear the Razorbacks before they become Razorbacks on Recruiting Thursday with Richard Davenport.
Kyrie Fisher, 6'2", about 234, 4.62, speed of Tulsa Union.
I want to start. I'm not coming here early to be a second string.
Recruiting Thursday each week from 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas. Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Bryant Hornets. Brought to you by UA Little Rock Benton Campus, Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, Bryant Parks and Rec, Mid-State Transmission, Bryant Family Pharmacy. From the Salt Bowl through the playoffs. On 690 AM, 93.7 FM, the Bryant Hornets play here. Fox Sports Arkansas. Your home for Henderson State football is Fox Sports Arkansas.
They snap it to Lassiter. Touchdown, ready.
With you all the way during the 2017 Great American Conference season.
Ben Johnson with a catch to the 50. Johnson inside the 40.
We're ready for the Reddies.
Diving catch at the 2-yard line. And the Reddies are set up, first down and goal.
On 106.9 FM and 99.7 FM, Henderson State football on Fox Sports Arkansas.
You can put that one in the books.
How's that kitchen remodel coming along?
I haven't found a reliable contractor and have no idea where to start.
What about Home Advisor?
Home what?
Home Advisor. They match you to pre-screened and top-rated pros for any kind of home project. You can even check pricing and book appointments online.
What's the catch?
No catch. Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Really? I'll check it out.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor.
Right now at the Home Depot, buy Spectracide Bug Stop with AccuShot Sprayer and get a free refill. Great news for you, bad news for bugs. Bug Stop kills bugs on contact, indoors and out, and can even protect your home for up to a year. And a free refill is even more of a good thing. Unless you're a bug. Take your best shot at bugs. Get a free refill with purchase of Spectracide Bug Stop with AccuShot Sprayer. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through September 10th.
All right, guys, huddle up. Coach's car battery died and he's running behind. And since I haven't been paying attention, I have no idea what plays we run or what most of your names are for that matter. So what I'll do is I'm going to pop this antacid tablet. I'll fall down, I'll fake a heart attack, and then you guys act shocked and concerned and stuff. And hopefully that'll buy me enough time for the coach to get here. All right, team on three.
Make sure you'll be there. Get a car battery test today. Find a location at interstatebatteries.com. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Saturday, September 2nd, there's only one high school game to be played in Arkansas, the 2017 Salt Bowl. And it's going to be live, right here on Fox Sports Arkansas. All the passion, all the excitement, all of everything to do with the biggest high school game in the state. Get salty at 7 o'clock on Saturday, September 2nd. And hear it all live from Little Rock to Hope on the home of the Bryant Hornets, the 2017 Salt Bowl on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Sports Talk with Bo Mattingly. Coach Spurrier, what did you think of the eclipse yesterday?
Yeah, I got those visors that poker players wear with the green translucent. You can look right through those things and you stare right at the sun all you want. It's safe. I got some friends over at NASA on the other side of Florida, and they sent me one of those visors, so I can wear it playing poker and looking at a clip. So come in handy.
Bo Mattingly, 2 to 6 on Fox Sports Arkansas. Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports.
One thing that really impresses me with this class is the speed, speed, and the speed in the defensive secondary.
Brings you athletes, coaches, and analysis.
We're alongside Mr. Daryl Macon,
Deval Welly.
Talking about Arkansas offensive line coach Kurt Anderson. Tonight, Chase Hayden's going to start it off.
Listen to Recruiting Thursday each week from 8 to 9 p.m. on Fox Sports Arkansas. You're listening to Game On Fox Sports Arkansas. Here's Wes Moore.
Back at it, Buck James, Brad Harris, Bryant, Benton getting ready for the Salt Bowl. Great conversation during the break. How the game has changed. We talk about the ways game has changed, the 7-on-7, summer football, year-round. But it's amazing to me video? Because that was something that wasn't around when I was in school. We didn't ever watch ourselves practice. We didn't even scout the other. That was what the coach did, and he, when he went home at night. But now your players are watching a lot of video, and that's it opens my mind to how much video they have going on right now.
Well, my son is going into coaching. He's playing football at Missouri State, and I told him, I said, the thing you can't do enough of, and that's watch film. And I don't care what coach is out there. If they're not watching film, then they're not learning. They're not evaluating themselves or the other team that they're playing. And I think it takes many, many hours of film study to figure out your plan, what you need to do, what you don't need to do, and then what the other team's doing and what you can do to affect that other team. But I can watch film from Sunday to all the way to Thursday, and I don't get what I'm looking at till Thursday morning or something. So you can watch that film 10,000 times, and you still don't see it till 9,999th time. You figure out, well, this is what we need to do. And so it's an X and O game. No matter what people think, but you have to study. You have to keep relevant. And, I think that's what I marvel about Don Shula and some of the coaches, Tom Landry, some of the coaches that coach from decade to decade to decade, is that they were able to evolve. And that's the reason the dinosaurs died, was because they couldn't evolve. And I think if you want to stay in this business, and, I want to stay in it just for a few more years, but I think you've got to stay relevant. And you've got to stay relevant to what kids can do and what they want to do, and what kind of offenses attract kids, what kind of defenses attract kids, and then put it into your plan. And I think that's what Huddle has done. That's what film study has done. And I think that's what's making football teams probably better than they've ever been.
Are you better coaches than before because of video?
I would say most definitely. Because like Buck said, you're studying daily, every day. You're trying to perfect your craft as a coach, and if you're not watching film, you're behind. You can tell teams that when you go out on the field on Friday nights, you can tell who's done their job through the week. As a coach and as a player and everything. When you're lining up out there and you've got a defense that's making calls and pointing, they identify a formation or a personnel grouping or something like that. They've been prepared by their coach through the week. And then sometimes you've got teams that never have a clue of what adjustments you make. So I think that as a coach, you're always looking to make yourself better every day, and through our technology of film watching, that's where a lot of us have perfected our craft.
I was at a game at War Memorial Stadium this week. And the defense is lined up. The offense gets lined up, and the defense, there's like four guys shouting. It wasn't from the sideline. It was players on the field shouting, "Screen, screen, screen." And I'll be danged if they didn't throw a screen, and they almost intercepted the screen, but they made the tackle for like a 4-yard loss, and I was like, that's impressive. They knew what was coming, and it wasn't coming from the sideline. Right. If you're the offensive coach, what's going through your mind? They're calling out your play before you even run it.
Yeah, that's definitely, you're thinking, for a long night if that's the case all the time. But we as coaches, we're creatures of habit. We get used to running certain plays out of certain formations, and today you can't do that. You have to disguise something with a motion or a shift or a different personnel grouping or something, or your opponent's going to know exactly what you're running from an offensive standpoint. If they're doing their diligence on defense, and I know Coach James and them are having their doing their diligence over there just as we do every day, watching film and making sure our guys get that study time in.
Because y'all play each other every year and it's such a big game, do you feel like you have to change something up just for this game because you're so familiar with each other?
I don't know. I think we, with us both being second-year guys, right now, I think there's still a lot of newness to it. I know we adapt and change by our personnel every year depending on what we have. Last year we felt like we were more of a outside screen game with our speed and the type of back we had. This year we're a little bit different. We're a little bit bigger up front. We run the football a little bit better, we feel like. So, it'll be a little bit of a different offense that they'll see this year compared to what they saw last year. And I think every coach will adapt to their personnel just a little bit. So I don't think you necessarily do anything different for an opponent just because it's a big rivalry or anything. I think most coaches are probably adapting to their personnel a lot of times, and it changes naturally.
Wes, I'm not going to lie. We've changed everything. We're not even going to run what we ran in the scrimmage, offensively or defensively. So, it's just going to be a game time decision on what we do. We're looking at Dead T and the Notre Dame box as we speak.
He's laying it on thick now, isn't he?
I know better than that.
You have a pretty good grasp of what you're up against. When you get a chance when the game's on to look around, because we talked about the environment, or is it all tunnel vision once the game for you individually? I know you want the players, but you take a moment, look around.
I think I do, like I said earlier, in pregame and maybe right when you come out of the tunnel and just kind of take it in for just a minute. After we get to the sideline, that opening kickoff, I tend to, get tunnel vision and really stay on task for the most part. You try to. Now, there's times when it gets really loud down there that you stop and, what's going on. But, you try to take it in as a person. I can remember Coach Callie's last year. We took the field for pregame and everything. He had a little GoPro camera on, and just kind of taking the experience in and everything. So at the time, we didn't know that he was already planning on that being his last one possibly in the Salt Bowl, and that was part of his thinking behind doing that. But I think you as a coach and as a human being, you get caught up in the atmosphere a little bit too.
You gonna look around?
Well, I guess so. I have to find my kids, my wife, and make sure that they've made it safely. And usually my son will make sure that I see him. But I took it in. I think life's too short to not to smell the coffee a little bit, and I thought it was an amazing atmosphere just to see all the people coming into the stadium, and it gave me a little bit of a take of what the big time football is all about. And if you can't enjoy yourself, you can't enjoy what you're doing. And I think you got to laugh at yourself, and you got to be able to enjoy what you're trying to do. And I think coming to a game like that, or to any high school football game, I think it's very important for those parents. I think they're excited for their own kids, and I think anybody who's coached and had their kids playing, I think that it's a savoring moment. I think it's a special time for the cheerleaders, for the band, all the support groups that go along with it. I think it's got to be one of the best times in high school. I think I look back at my high school career, and we won a state championship in our last game, and I can't remember the score. I can remember who we played, but I can't remember a whole lot else about it because there's been so many games between here and there. But high school football is a great experience, and it teaches a lot of life skills and life lessons, and it gives you an opportunity to make effect on young people. And I think any coach that doesn't take all that in is really shortchanging themselves.
Nick Saban said a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to an interview, that years ago they would play like a cream puff or whatever, that first game, kind of ease into things. And here recently, Alabama's changed the way they do things, and they're playing one of these marquee games every year. They've been doing it now for several years, and he likes it because it will show him their flaws. They can learn a lot from that game. And he said, you know what, you may lose that game, but it will teach you what you need to improve. Do you look at it that way with such a big game, this first game, because you could have maybe a non-conference game that's a little bit easier to maybe some of your younger guys, get them a little experience, but you don't have that luxury with this game. Do you like playing a big game week one?
Absolutely. I think it's the best thing for you. We play Fayetteville week 2. We're going to play Bentonville week 3 next year. To me, if you're not going to play the best, then stay at home. I think that we play Pulaski Academy in a scrimmage, and I told him we can have an unwritten contract. If you want to play on week 2 and 3, we'll do that too. But I think that you don't get better by not playing better people, and I think some people get caught up in what the record is instead of how good their football team is. And I would rather be a team that's still playing around Thanksgiving than I have a good record and sitting at home. And I think that's what you do. You go out and you play the best teams that you can play. You go out there and you coach against coaches who know what they're doing, and they're doing the best job they can with their kids, and their kids are playing hard, and they have a high expectation and high bar for their kids and their community, and it makes you a better football coach. It makes you a lot better football team.
I agree with that completely. I mean, you want to play the best team that you possibly can to open the season. I mean, after week 1 last year, we knew exactly where we were. We knew we wasn't going to play anybody much of any better than what we got to see against Bryant. So they unveiled a lot of flaws that we had, and we started correcting them right after that game, and it helped us getting through the non-conference season and everything. And we got a few things going offensively that we were unable to because of things that they did to us in week one. So, I like playing a very strong schedule. Part of you, like Buck said, you want to win football games, and sometimes you want to schedule that team that you think you guarantee yourself a win, but is that in best situation for your team? Is it better to win an easy game or to play a tough game that you might win and you might lose? Is it better for the long haul? And that's what I look at. And one of our goals at Benton is always to make deep playoff runs. We want to win conference championships, state championships, but we want to be that team that's still playing around Thanksgiving every year. So playing these guys to open the season, we like it at Benton.
Is there a concern though that they could find something maybe another team wouldn't find, exploit it, and then it opens? It shows the other. This is the way you beat Bryan, or this is the way you beat Benton. Look at what they did.
Well, yeah, I think anytime you play a good team, they're gonna show some weaknesses. They're gonna show you everybody your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna happen this week against us. I know there'll be ways that Russellville or El Dorado or Greenwood or somebody, they look at our film with Bryant and they go, well, that's how we need to attack them. But I think that's our job as a coach, is to look at those weaknesses that we have and to try to improve those weaknesses to where people can't beat us at that point of attack or something.
Great stuff. Brad Harris, Buck James joining us in the studio. When we come back, we'll wrap it up. That was fast. We got to take our last break of the hour. We'll finish it up. It's game on.
The Haskell-Harmony Grove Cardinals play here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Brought to you by Bryan Family Pharmacy. It's the Cards and Bauxite Miners Friday night. Don't miss a minute of the action on 99.7 and FoxSportsArkansas.com. Not getting your game on?
How about the Razorbacks stuck in an elevator? Which Razorback would you like to be stuck in the elevator? Maybe you do want the quarterback. Maybe you do want Austin Allen. Got to be calm under fire.
Maybe you want Dan Enos. Maybe you want an offensive coordinator, somebody who can design a plan.
Maybe you want a big guy in case he has to lift you out of there.
Well, and then you're also thinking, how much weight is this elevator supposed to bear for this long? How strong are those cables?
Get your game on with Wes Moore each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Fox Sports Arkansas is your home for the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Brought to you by Royal Blue, First Arkansas Financial, McCoy Tigard Pharmacy, College of the Washitas, TMK Properties. Listen to the Yellow Jackets battle Little Rock McClellan this Friday at FoxSportsArkansas.com. Arkansas State Red Wolves football plays on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Fade right side, caught, touchdown Arkansas State with 9 seconds to go.
Hear the premier football program in the Sun Belt on 690 AM, 93.7 FM, and 1380 AM, 105.5 FM.
Second time and it's blocked. The Red Wolves will fall on top of
We're with the Red Wolves all season.
Touchdown Arkansas State
on Fox Sports Arkansas.
Paying off credit cards can get expensive, and getting a traditional bank loan can be a hassle, which is why there is now another way to get the money you need at a competitive fixed interest rate without the hassles, fees, and risks. It's called Avant. Your loan through Avant could be approved in minutes, and money could be in your account in as little as 1 business day. So if you need a small or a substantial loan, go to Avant.com to check your interest rate. We think you're going to like what you see. Right now, Avant will also give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first installment is made on time. To check your rates with no effect on your FICO score and get this special offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 1010 at checkout. That's www.avant.com, promo code 1010. Loans are made by WebBank. Funds are deposited for delivery next business day if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
Not getting your game on? They are.
They're not focusing on losing those games. What they're focusing on is how to win those games. They don't want to focus on the negative. They're going to focus on the positive. Well, I'll focus on the negative. 15 picks is way too many, especially in that offense. And Austin said it yesterday. Sometimes on 3rd and 8, I got to throw it 6 yards, and we have to punt. I got to learn to take a punt. It's part of maturing as a senior. Last year, 15 interceptions.
Get your game on each weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on Fox Sports Arkansas. Find us on Twitter at FSR Arkansas. Now, here's Wes Moore.
Back at it, finishing up. It is Game On, talking about the Salt Bowl. Brad Harris and Buck James with us in the studio. Coach, let me start with you, Buck. What do you need to do in week one against Benton to have success? Is there a certain group? Is there a player? You need somebody to step up? What are you looking for?
Well, the universal, answer to that question is in any big football game, you got to be able to run the football, and then you've got to be able to stop the run, and you got to eliminate in a preseason game or early season game is how well you do in your kick game, turnovers. All big factors in any big ball game or any early game in the years is how well you take care of the football, how well you run the football, and how well you protect your own defense. And those are the keys for us really in this game, the next game, and next year's game. We've got to be able to run the football. We've got to be able to stop the run, and we've got to be able to eliminate turnovers and hold our own in the kick game. And I think the kick game last year was huge for us, and we're going to be young there, so that's going to be a new experience for us as well. But I think it all starts with, being able to stop the run and be able to run the football.
It's crazy. You guys tell us all the time about the turnovers, winning the battle of the turnovers, and always it's a cliche. Doing the state championship games with y'all, watching these first couple games of War Memorial, early season games, it's amplified. A turnover in a big game is amplified, and it's amazing. You can tell after the game, look at the stats, who won the turnover battle, and I guarantee about 99% of the time that team has also won the game. And I don't know why in a big game it's even more important, but maybe it's the momentum, maybe it's the shift.
The big thing last year, we throw an interception that they returned back to the 11-yard line and they scored their touchdown. That's the only touchdown. We felt like we played great defense all night, and then we have an interception that gets returned to the 11, and you give a good team the ball on 11, it's hard to hold them out, and that was the difference in the ball game. And then we had a couple field goals in there. So turnovers is a huge thing for us. For us to be successful, like Buck said, we've got to run the football better than we did last year. I don't think we had 50 yards rushing last year against these guys, and we threw the ball 50 times. That's not us. That's not our identity. So we've got to get into running the football, and hopefully our offensive line plays a lot better. And a lot of times that dictates things what you do, but we've got to try to win the battle up front a little bit more than we did last year from an offensive line standpoint. And then the next biggest thing for us is how is our defense going to perform with 8 new starters out there. I'm not going to say we got to stop the run or stop the pass, but how are we going to play? Are we going to be aggressive? We're going to fly around like we need to in order to make plays against a very good team.
Do you know what you have by now? Or can you be surprised, pleasantly surprised, or maybe even disappointed a little bit come game time?
I think you can be surprised. A lot of times I tell our teams, and maybe not this one, but the best offensive line you might be playing against this year might be the one that you're going against every day, or the best secondary you're going against right now as receivers might be the one you're practicing against every day. So, there's no way that you're going to get that every time you go out there in a game, and I think it opens up doors and avenues that you might not get every day in practice, or definitely who you scrimmage. Mm-hmm. Your secondary might be really good, and you play Plastic Academy and you find out different, but then you don't see anybody like Plastic Academy again. So I think it's all relative. I think it's about the matchups. We talked about that during the break, but matchups are important, and how you practice against the weakness or strengths of your own team, sort of dictates how your team gets better. And I think if you have a great offensive line, your defensive linemen are going against them every day, they're going to get better. If you got great receivers and your D-backs are going against them every day, then you're going to get better. And I think that's the key to any team that's successful is they got great practice players.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed. Do you guys enjoy not only just the radio, but everything that comes along with it?
I like talking football. I love football. I love the game of football. I like talking about the strategies and what you want from it. But to me, it's the greatest game in the world, and it teaches you, rich, poor, tall, short, black, white. The whole skinny and fat can play this game, and then you put a melting pot. And I don't think there's anything else in America where you can put this out there and say, hey, we're a team, we're a family, and we get to do this every day for our living. And I think I think by far the greatest game there is.
You enjoying it?
Oh yeah, I enjoy all the media stuff. I enjoy coming and talking to guys like yourself, Wes, and Tony, guys from the Courier and all that. I enjoy that. That's part of the reason why I got into this. I love football, but I also love interacting with people and the PR that goes with it, and feel like that's part of my job is to promote our football team and our program. And if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be in this part of it. I'd be an assistant coach, and I feel like that's part of my job as a head coach. But I really enjoy it, and I agree with Buck. I mean, we're coaching the best game that's ever been created. It's the ultimate team game, team sport, and we've got to take a lot of young men from different areas and backgrounds and mold them into a team that can be competitive.
Coaches, you do a great job promoting it. I mean, I think people are fired up for this Salt Bowl. We appreciate your time. Thank you for coming by tonight. Thank you. Good luck.
All right. Thanks a lot.
I know we'll be talking to both of them throughout the year, but it was great to have them both in the studio. The same with Paul Cowley and Bauxite, and having Daryl Patton in here today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Stick around. Bo Mattingly's coming up next. I'm Wes Moore. It's Game On.
When it comes to the success of your small business, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? It may not sound like a lot of money, but it's enough to turn 500 strangers into 500 connections. All it takes is the right business card. Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. You heard right, 500 business cards for $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. But don't let the price fool you. Vistaprint uses only carefully selected inks and paper stocks, so your satisfaction is absolutely